Good evening. It's 5:30. Let the April 23rd meeting of the VillageFest Board come to order, please. Staff, can we have a roll call?
Hi, Chair Roberts,
Present.
Vice Chair Ganella,
Here.
Board Member Anderson is currently absent, Board Member Gardner. Here. Board Member Idell. Here. Board Member Antonio will be absent today, Board Member Batterstreet.
Here.
And Main Street Meredith.
Here.
Thank you. Are there any public comments, either people here in the meeting room or online? Seeing none, how about any board comments for this evening?
Not so much city business, it's National Volunteer Week, and I'd just like to recognize that and thank all the volunteers in the city and our community that do so much for all of our nonprofits. So great for all the volunteers. Thank you.
Very good. I would like to take a couple of minutes and on behalf of the board, invite all of you for being here this evening. You are what makes VillageFest work. We have been doing this for 32 years. So thank you for being here tonight, and we look forward to hearing what you have to say. The way the evening will progress is you see before you 6 board members here. We will vote on your presentations. There is another board member who is in remotely tonight, Joy Meredith. Joy represents the downtown merchants, who are very much a part of the VillageFest experience, but she is a non-voting member. So when we call you up this evening, please come up and present your very best presentation as to why you should be included in VillageFest. And just to give you some insight, what we're looking for, we consider this to be an artisan fair, and that's not an art and crafts fair. So the test that we're looking for is that you make minimally 75% of what it is you're going to be selling at VillageFest. So please keep that in mind. That's what we'll be listening for. And when you're done speaking, you will have up to 5 minutes to speak. At the 4-minute mark, someone will caution you. At 5, we'll ask you to stop. And then we will ask you questions. So please be to the point and succinct, and we're very much looking forward to hearing what you have to say this evening. Sorry, and then the full 5 minutes. Yeah, and you don't have to take the full 5 minutes. If you can say it quicker, that's great. Any correspondence, staff?
We do have the one from one of the vendors, Earl Ballier, just speaking on the sizes of the booths that we changed several years ago.
I don't recall that, so that's a while ago, right? We're probably
Yeah,
going back
many
6
years
years.
ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, it's 6 years.
He's the vendor, he wants to have more space.
Yeah.
And in the summer, you know, we encourage vendors, if there's not one around, to go ahead and expand out, and he wants to continue that throughout the year.
Are there any other board comments about this correspondence we see? Did everybody see it?
No, so he wants
did.
2 booths is what he wants.
He doesn't want to pay for it.
Oh, he doesn't want to pay for it.
He wants the booths to be
He wants
expanded,
it to
not
be
too big.
bigger.
Yeah.
They used to be 15 feet. But we still had them 10 by 10 tents is what most people had.
Yeah.
And then we made the booths standards are now 10 by 10. And then, but we make the spaces 12 by 12, so there's still extra space. But he prefers the 15 feet.
So with the number of vendors that we actually have in our highest point during this year, had in our highest point this year, if we went to 15 feet, will we still be able to accommodate them down to barista?
We would lose space, yes.
I know we lose space, but is there a spare space that, because in other words, I guess the point I'm getting at is, if this vendor really requires that much space because of their whatever product display, and we grant it, that can open up a can of worms with other vendors. And if that were to happen,
Well, just for him, you mean? Or?
yeah, in other words, if we were to say, okay, he can expand right now, but
No, he usually expands in the summer.
yeah,
His tent, I believe, is, I believe it's a 10 by 10, he just goes out a little further. But he was offered to pay for another space. He was, because he's written in before.
Yeah, I
Um,
didn't feel like I got an explanation from him in the letter that said why he needs more space, or is it just that he wants it?
Well, obviously, when we're in season, more vehicles are on the street, so it gets a little tighter. That happens every year. That
Yeah.
happens I mean, that's kind
Nature
of
of it.
avoidable. So that was his, solution to it. If the spaces were bigger, they'd have
Okay.
more.
I want to thank the vendor for writing into us and sharing their
Absolutely.
concerns. We really appreciate that. In looking at this, kind of saw three issues that he was bringing forward. So I was a little bit confused, which was the one that was really most important to him. The width of the booth from 12 to 14 feet was the first issue he raised. And then he referenced car parking, which I assume had to do with loading and
Correct.
unloading.
Mhm.
So that was another issue that he raised. And I really was unsure of what was the most important thing to him. But having said all that, I think it's something we should take a look at. So Faith, I'd like to ask that maybe you and I and maybe Dan, if you participate in this.
Sure.
Have a conversation and talk about these issues and see if there's anything we can do to address this. And we will report back to the rest of the board on this topic.
We
May I
did,
just say one thing too, please? It's
Please, sir.
very important. I know Faith knows and I know Jasmine knows. It's very important to make sure that there is some space left between the booths so that the businesses on the street aren't left with a giant wall in front of them with no way for people to be able to pass. So I just want to make sure that everybody's aware of that touchy situation, that we, Faith works really hard to resolve that all the time. Thank you.
That's a very good point, actually, Joy. Because without that, you can't even walk as a person at VillageFest. You can't get over to the sidewalk if you want to until you get to the next intersection sometimes. I've noticed that, so.
And we can run into
we
accessibility
make the
issues.
spaces
and-
12 feet and the booth standards are 10. So there is space in between.
No, I'm saying like if we do stretch them all, then that will make that end to end, and it's probably not a good idea, right?
Well, most vendors don't, when we had the 15 feet, they don't take up the whole space.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah,
So
and
it'll
he
make
was
for more
offered,
space between,
what's that?
it'll make for more space between vendors?
Yes.
So
And
then,
obviously,
Joy,
if the
that
space
should,
is- if
it would
the-
actually have the opposite effect, Joy.
Yeah,
It sounds like.
yeah, I understand. It just the fact that people try to spread from that too. So I just want to make sure that we're considering that.
Good, we'll take this offline and address it and come back
Thank
with
you.
some
He
thoughts
was
and
offered-
recommendations.
He was offered before when he,
Second spot.
yes, we were offered him because barista, we weren't quite full there. We offered people as no charge. They could spread out over there, but he did not want to move.
And that
So
may be a
was-
solution that we need to
That is
consider.
the,
Yeah,
Well, we did offer that to him.
thank you. Good. All right,
Perfect.
consent calendar, the posting of the agenda for this evening. Can we get a motion to approve, please?
I make a motion to approve.
Or a second?
I'll second it.
All right, let us vote. Mitchell,
Yes,
Cheryl,
Yeah.
Dan,
Yes.
I vote yes. Celia?
Yes.
And David?
Yes.
Yes, good. And now for the approval of the meeting minutes from March 26th. Celia, you weren't here, so you cannot vote on this one. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll move to approve.
Second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Dan, and let us vote. David?
Yes.
Greg, yes. Dan?
Yes.
Cheryl?
Yes.
And Mitchell?
Yes.
Thank you. So approved. Now we come to the fun part of the meeting. Is everybody ready? First up is going to be Bradley. Bradley, are you here?
Yes.
Bradley is a current vendor, and he wants to add some things to his booth. So, Bradley, when you're ready.
Does anybody have any writing instrument?
That's your
It's,
pen?
it's fine.
Use your smartphone.
I usually do. But just. Thank you.
Right.
Okay, hello, everybody.
Please press the green button and, so we can hear you and
Mhm.
Although I think that's gonna be
Proceed.
easy.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me back.
Yeah, we can,
Just get closer to the mic.
I wanted to introduce my business partner here, Arlen. Him and I make everything together. He does a lot of the resin work and the woodworking here. So what we're looking to add is cutting board, charcuterie boards, Lazy Susan. They're all made out of mesquite that we mill ourselves. Arlen has a mill, so it comes to us as logs. We mill the lumber, process it all, put it in molds, pour resin, and then turn them into the final products you see here. So this is truly 100% handmade by us. Also coasters, we'll pass those around. We actually brought, you guys can keep one of those each.
Nice.
And we can,
Can you please speak a little closer to the microphone because there's people on better dial,
Sorry.
they can't hear you, sorry.
another item we're looking to add is cribbage boards made out of teak.
Oh, how fun.
And they have a design cut in the center, and then also mesquite cribbage boards. So we brought one that was in process, so here's a couple different. Thank you, designs. That will eventually be
Round.
round like this. We hold all the cards, pegs, everything in the back on both designs, so we have lots of different designs. And then the last new product is an indoor-outdoor wooden lantern that could either be, this one's both, but the final product would not, one could be solar, or it could plug in and have a light through the bottom. But the faces are magnetically changeable, so you can have a Halloween one, a Christmas one,
What a great idea. That's
Christmas, so
really
instead of putting your decorations away,
fun.
you just change the face and leave it up year round, so you don't have to have the storage space. And then there's also magnets on the back, so you could
I
store.
was just gonna ask you.
An extra.
That's perfect, yes.
So clever.
That's
it
great.
is clever.
So that gets sold as a set like that? with all
It'll
the-
come with 2 face plates, and then there'll be additional face plates that they can purchase separately, but the standard, and it'll be either solar, plug-in, or T-light. The little battery powered candles that go inside, so there's 3 different variations of the product, but we can pass these around.
Yeah, these are.
And
It's a great
they
idea,
are heavy.
different variations like that, though,
That
to
is-
have different options.
Yeah, I think I have 40 different face
Color?
designs.
No, I mean, as far as it being solar or
grade.
T-light
think
or.
So I can-
The way I would do
Combination of
it, I'm
colors I can
thinking
create
right
mixed
now
with the epoxy
is
resin.
I'll pick 2 that come with it, and then they can choose so I can standardize production, otherwise it
Yeah.
gets really complicated from a production standpoint.
What are the prices of the cut
Oh, this is-
boards?
Anywhere from 300 down to 120.
Okay, and
Yeah.
the lights?
Lights will be $50.
how do you bond the resin to the wood unless that's a
Good question.
secret?
No, not at all. The important thing is to make sure the edge of the wood is cleaned.
Uh-huh.
And then I use a heavy wire brush and also drill holes so the resin dowels into the wood in case it gets shocked.
So any pressure on the resin part of it wouldn't cause
You can
break?
stand on it,
You could stand.
literally, yes.
So the resin is adherent by nature, or is there also glue involved?
Oh, only by nature.
Okay,
Yep, it is one of the strongest adhesives you can
Yeah.
buy or have, yes.
So it's food safe.
Absolute. It's even certified by label. Certified food safe.
And that's what brand is that? That's Super Clear?
It's called Super Clear, made in the USA, comes from Florida, one of the oldest producers of resins in the United States.
4 minutes.
And you, are you full-time or year-round or?
Yes.
You're-
So I did the first, so I'm paid up through June right now.
He's an annual vendor.
Is this, are you the same person that does the whiskey smoke?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I always see a lineup that you're.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, that is my
Demoing.
main product line. So probably won't introduce the lantern until close to Halloween,
Yeah.
August, September timeframe. That's when that really starts to take off.
Non-slip bead as well.
And those will be okay outside the lanterns?
Just on them, yeah.
Oh, well, I got solar, of course it will.
The price range on the
Well, the word-
cutting boards again was.
Anywhere from 300 down to 120, depending on size.
Yeah, how will they do with the rain and weather?
They'll be finished,
Oh,
so,
they'll be
yeah,
finished. So
this one is unfinished.
Okay,
In fact, the faceplates are made out of cedar and the whole thing is made out of oak. I didn't have time to make new faceplates, so yeah, it will have a finish on it, so it's
What was
outdoor.
the first faceplate? I didn't, what,
It was the Easter one.
I wish you would do a Palm Springs.
We will do
centric faceplate.
we will do a palm one.
Good.
Maybe Mel.
And then one thing I wanted to ask you guys, I saw your emblem that's on that round
Yeah.
emblem that says City of Palm Springs with the sun. Is that something that's usable that we could make a cribbage board with that emblem in the center of it, that says City of Palm Springs?
Can we take a note on that and get back
Yes,
to you?
absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It sounds like a great idea, but I'm not really sure.
I didn't see any trademark on it or anything, so I just wasn't sure if it was open use or if you guys allowed it or,
We'll get back to you on that.
and then, okay, I think we're done.
Yeah.
I do think making faceplates that have like cactus or
Mhm.
something that's really.
Mountains.
Yeah,
sunset or
something that.
Yeah, we'll make sure we have some generic ones that are desert themed, you know, Joshua tree, a
Right.
palm,
So turn your lights off when-
cactus.
And so it comes
Lights
with,
off when you're-
It'll,
so it comes with two.
It'll come with two.
And then you'll have extra ones
We'll
that
have
can purchase
extra
if I'm a
sold separately.
repeat customer.
Mhm.
How much would those sell for out of curiosity?
Right now, I'm thinking $5 a piece.
It's a reasonable gift.
Yeah.
Really nice.
It really is nice.
Any other questions for Bradley?
No, just a comment, those are gorgeous. They're
Thank you.
gorgeous.
Thank you.
That's what we mean when we say artisan.
Yeah.
Beautiful work. Very
Thank you.
nice.
Thank
And
you.
as far as the color of the resin, is it like color spectrum or are there only certain colors?
Oh, anything you
Sky's the
can
limit.
think of,
Okay.
yeah.
Great.
We can create.
So is there a motion to add these items to Bradley's booth?
I'd like to move to add them rusty nails, new items.
Second,
I'll second.
good. Let's vote then. David,
Yes.
Celia,
Yes,
I vote yes. Dan,
Absolutely.
Cheryl,
yes, they're
and
beautiful.
Mitchell.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank
We
you.
look forward to seeing these new items.
Somebody want another coaster?
I didn't take one.
I didn't take one on. Yeah, just leave it there. I'll give it to Faith. Thank you so much.
Uh-huh.
Do you have the other page?
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, the one that was passing. somebody's looking
Oh.
at.
Somebody looking at the other page for the file?
Yes, there is here. Let's see.
Thank you. Like
Next
being
up
here.
is John Marianowitz. John, are you here this evening?
John's not here to serenade us, huh?
Okay.
Okay.
Next on the agenda is Paco Monstruque. How badly did I say that?
You did pretty good.
Oh,
Want this true?
Monstruque.
Yeah.
Ah, very good.
And my wife Carolina.
Hi, Carolina.
Hi.
Hello
Welcome.
guys, how you doing?
Good.
How are you? How are you?
Yes. So we, with my wife, we work together, we do jewelry. We do everything from the designing, the casting to, so basically we do the whole process. Pretty much ourselves. We have some pieces for you. We do, we have a few rings. The materials that we use are gonna be bronze. We do fine silver and 14 karat gold. Okay. And some of them are gonna be already finished and some are not. As you can see, this is not ready, we're not finished yet. But you can, welcome to pass them around. Also, we have some necklaces. And these are,
Yeah.
necklaces. Yeah, it's bronze.
It's
bronze.
This is bronze?
Yeah, so that is bronze.
Okay.
It's very similar to 14 karat gold. And then, like I said, we do also do a gold, but usually, to be honest with you, we don't bring that much to the shows unless
Yeah.
somebody orders. place an order on that.
Yeah, for security.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you do the chains as well?
The chains we don't.
Yeah.
We don't do the chains.
Do you have, will you have a variety of sizes of each design?
So
These are
with
tiny.
rings, it's hard to bring all the sizes.
Right.
So we probably gonna have a few, but usually what we do when we do these shows is like, they will place an order. And usually it takes us about a week to 2 weeks to have them ready, and then what we can do is, if we coming back next week to the show, we can deliver to them on that day, or we can ship it to them anywhere in the US.
Yeah, because these are all women's sizes, basically. You're cutting out your.
Yeah, I just grab a few
Oh,
pieces
yeah,
for you
okay.
guys to look at it,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
So
now
that
we're
we
gonna-
do,
But I'm saying if you bring larger sizes, it's a good idea.
but this
There's
is,
a lot of men here.
these are larger sizes, I mean, I do have one for example, this will be 14 karat gold if you guys wanna take a look at it.
Trusting us.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, I dropped it.
I swallowed it. Oh, wow.
So this is 14 karat gold plated over bronze.
No, that's actually 14
This
karat.
is actually 14 karat gold.
It's solid, yeah.
So-
Right.
That is very unique. Let him down.
Did you see the
It
image?
gets stuck on my finger.
Did you see the image?
I was afraid of that.
I actually had the lion's head ring in gold.
Well,
Cause I'm a Leo.
so how did you get started doing, how long have you been doing it, and how'd you get started?
I would say about
This is beautiful.
years, like,
This
yeah, I've
feels
been doing
heavy.
this
This
for
feels
20 years.
heavy. I like that.
So, my wife has always been, in very creative people. So I was about 20 years ago, I went to Arizona and I took a week class with a friend of mine. He was willing to teach me how to make jewelry. So after that week, it was pretty much on my own. So I learned how to do the whole process. He was all practicing. Then my wife, like about 5 years later, she joined me because I was really busy. So she like, hey, why don't I help you? So we both started working together, and basically the designs are between the both of us. And then we also have a 3D printing machine with a program where we create samples. These are the resin. So they come out like this first. When we have something in mind, we have, that's how they come out. And then from there, we make a mold, or we can make multiple ones.
What do you do? What do you do for ring sizing? Do you have like molds of each size, or do you just have a regular ring size or?
So we have some molds that we usually, if you were to order something from us, basically we will measure you, and then we can have it created in the 3D printing machine.
Yeah.
And then we can send it to the cast. We can cast it from there. We don't really need to make a while back when I started, I had to make molds of everything. But now and then with the technology, you don't really need to. Once you create a file with the style, you can repeat it multiple
You
times.
can print the wax, the one.
Is this, do you start with anything like metal clay? Is that what you use?
No,
Okay,
never worked with that.
okay.
One more question. I believe some of the first rings have stones or a place for a stone.
Yes.
Do you sell the stones as well?
Yeah.
By itself?
I mean,
Oh,
it looks like you could put a pearl or a gemstone or a
Yeah,
diamond
we
or.
do.
I think those are unfinished products.
Yeah,
that they're
those
just
are
showing us
unfinished.
what they look
Yeah.
like.
Oh, so it would already come with, I would order a custom
Yeah.
order a ruby
Yeah, so
for that's my
basically-
birthstone,
Yeah.
whatever.
If you look at our website, we do have different options
Okay.
for the
This is
stones.
the ruby.
Oh, okay. Oh, so yeah, you
So
don't
we do
wanna,
work
So
with
we
the stones.
complete
thank you.
So are you expecting, so are people coming and walking away with a product, or are they coming and ordering the product?
No, we definitely hope for people to buy the product right there. When it comes to rings, it's a little harder, but I mean, usually we do okay with that too. It's mostly they're gonna buy necklaces. And like I said, they can always place an order, and usually people don't have an issue with that.
Yeah.
So the vast majority of your sales are the necklaces,
And we have also earrings,
okay?
like one that I'm wearing, and you can see it.
But you said you don't make necklaces, right?
We do
We,
make.
no, the
You don't make
chain, the
the
chain.
chain.
We don't do chain.
You make the watch.
But they make-
We do the charm, for example.
The
Yeah, that's what we do,
pendants,
yeah. The charm, the ring, the actual piece that hangs from the necklace.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any of the earrings with you that you can pass around?
Oh, you want to send them, show them?
Even,
Oh, earrings, oh,
Yeah.
You
Is
want-
that the only, no,
No,
that's
no,
not
no.
really, but is that the only one?
yes, we didn't bring any earrings.
Do you do other styles? I guess, question.
We do have many
Yeah,
different
we have
styles,
stones,
yeah.
hoops,
We
we
have
also,
stats.
stones.
And you
I
do,
would
you
like to
do
see that.
bracelets at all, or is it just necklaces, earrings and rings?
We work only with jewelry at the moment. Yeah, basically, only jewelry like rings,
But no,
earrings.
bracelets.
Bracelets
Oh,
are
we do
jewelry.
bracelets as well.
You do bracelets, okay.
Yes.
And did you bring any of
No,
those?
it's not listed on their
Oh, I didn't.
recipient or
I
their
guess our-
application.
in majority inventory is mostly necklaces, rings and earrings, but we do a couple, we
Do
have
you
a.
want to add bracelets to while
Yeah,
you're
if
here, so
that's
you don't have
okay.
to come back?
Yes,
But I'd
sure.
like
But
to say
we-
that I'd like to see.
Yeah, I was
them
gonna say, do we have
before
any
I-
samples?
It's very important that we take a look at what you are going to sell. So if there's items that you want to sell that are not here, we would ask you to come back and let us take a look at those. Or we would vote only on what you have here, and that would be all you could sell until you were to come back with new items. So that decision would be up to you. I think your work is very nice.
It's
but-
gorgeous.
Yeah,
Could we have a decision on this? And then
Mhm.
because 90% of what we sell is, like I said, what we have here.
Yeah.
And then we have very few bracelets. And we can bring it to you maybe next time.
Next
Mm-hmm.
time?
yes.
Can I,
But you can't display and sell the bracelets until.
Yeah,
then.
that
Okay.
we can.
can we also add earrings to that? Because I'd like to see a few more than
Yeah,
just the
yes.
one in his ear.
Yeah.
But can we display them if?
Yeah, you would just come back.
No, wait, whoa.
No,
You don't say yes. No, you cannot display them or sell them
The earrings we want.
until we jury them. No.
Until you bring them back and let us see what you're.
Can I show you the ones that I have?
I
Most
love
of them that, I mean, you'll give you an idea of what we
But
have.
you said you have hoops and other styles. I wanna see that. I wanna see how
Oh.
handmade they are, to be
Well,
honest.
so the quality of their work seems to speak for
Yeah.
itself. I don't know why we would want them to come back and bring more earrings. I mean, this is quality jewelry.
And I'm not sure if you guys can take a look at, or I can show you their website. That will give you,
An
because we
idea.
have so many
And we have
products.
connections too, so a lot of the rings kind of match with the necklaces as well as the earrings, so it
That
kind of
makes
gives
sense,
you an
yeah.
idea.
What's your website?
It's Montestruc, MONTESTRUQUE.com.
I looked them up. I did.
Looks like Jasmine has something to say.
Jasmine.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so my apologies for not being in person today. I would like for the board to stay consistent with the manner that you have in the past, which is any item that is presented at VillageFest must be presented before you in person. I feel if we start to steer off from that, then we're putting some of the responsibility upon staff and or the vendor to stay within the guidelines. I would rather the board have maintain its current purview of ensuring that every item that is on the street has been seen and or handled by the VillageFest board.
But don't we sometimes say, do you want to add that to your packet or to your application while you're standing before us? And sometimes they don't have the item to show us. And we've done that for vendors so that they don't have to come back and be rejuried.
So in the past, the way it's happened is they will have something in person that is not on their application, and we will add it there, but the board has seen the product. If we go in the opposite, where we're just gonna say, we're gonna hope that the item that they're telling us is what they're gonna present on the street, it really is challenging for staff to maintain the same quality. Because as much as you all see it, we also like to see it so that when we're on the street, we know what we need to enforce.
Yeah,
And
we are
they
in
have-
agreement, Jasmine. Thank you.
And they have many categories, bracelets, astrology, the 12 houses, unisex, hoops.
Okay, we have
earrings,
so many different
threaders.
items. I didn't know you guys wanted me to
Paco,
do everything.
here's my,
It's just
if we
part of-
were to vote on what you showed us, I believe you would be approved. But here's my recommendation to you. And you can do what you want, but my recommendation is that you come back and bring everything that you would like to sell in your booth and let us take a look at that.
Just like the displays that you have here.
And let me explain why. We have a lot of jewelry vendors. That is probably the largest single category at VillageFest. So if you're going to be successful, it's important that you show everything that you have. And the only way you can do that is if we take a look at it. So we'll leave it up to you.
So just to make, so because we probably when we do a display, we probably have like around 400 different items. We have like 100 earrings, so you want everything?
No.
A sampling of everything.
An example, we've
Sample the
seen
type.
rings.
So we have examples
see
here of the
chains.
earrings, and mine, these are examples, if you
Now, do you
want
have
to
any
look
of the
at it.
hoops with you?
I
Yeah, I
have,
have the hoops, this is a hoop.
this, and that's
Please,
this,
Yeah.
I don't want you to take them off your body.
Yeah,
and pass them around.
yeah.
We don't want that.
but I have this star stat. I had this one with me in this purse, if you wanna see
My decision is the same.
it. Okay.
We will vote on those items and either approve or disapprove them, or we will wait till you come back with everything and vote. So you tell us what you would like us to do.
But to be clear, you don't need to bring all 400 items, because you have
Just
many varieties
examples,
within the same.
examples.
So in other words, you make hoop earrings. You don't need to bring them in silver and bronze
So
and
you know
gold,
what,
right?
I do have earrings in my car, would you mind me go grabbing them? And
We
come-
can move on.
If you would like to sit down and then we'll come back to you.
Yeah, because you know, I do have a few.
Why don't you get what you have and then let's
Okay, let's do
review
that.
this again,
Yeah,
yeah.
thank you, I didn't know, yeah.
Because I understand that you have collections, so you don't want to put part, like, just the ring and not the earrings that match.
Yeah,
I get that.
I don't mind waiting. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Thank you. Keith Anderson, are you here? Keith?
Yes.
You're next, please, sir.
You remember me probably.
Yes.
Keith Anderson is my name. I'm a paper artist.
Why did I say?
Ooh, that is so cool.
Yeah.
I make paper by recycling office paper back in the paper pulp and dyeing it, and then including various items, plant fibers, you name it, into it. While you're looking, I'd like you to try and guess what you think these are.
Sports,
What was that?
broken glass.
No, but
Those
close.
look like candy bar
Yes.
wrappers.
How about cans?
Nope.
CDs.
Yes,
Oh.
that's right.
That's
That's right. Melted CDs.
Oh,
What's on the
Wow.
back of these? How are they mounted?
I
Oh,
brought this
so
one
it's
so you
paper,
can
paper,
see that
paper.
I
Yeah.
actually make it. It's paper. It's all cast
Wow.
paper, and I use thicker paper to
Oh,
reinforce the
okay.
edges of it.
Can you pass one of those around?
Sure.
A light one.
Small,
Good
yeah,
one.
smaller one.
They're all light.
Yeah. This
I thought this
answers
was
to sustainability. You realize that?
Yeah, I just did the Earth Fest in San Diego this past weekend.
Oh, wow.
These are really, really
Wow.
unique.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are. I've been doing this for 35 years,
Really cool.
and I started doing VillageFest, believe it or not, in 2000.
Wow.
That's when I started. Off and on, I, had to move, and it was too far to do. Now I'm within reach again.
That is so unique. We have
Goodness.
nothing like this.
I do a lot of petroglyphs and cave drawings, rock paintings from around the world, because they're earth cultures, and the petroglyphs look good on paper. And most people tend to like that ancient
do any
indigenous
mountainscape?
art. What's that?
Mountainscapes or landscapes or anything like that?
I do. I do.
Because that would be big here because we look at the mountains all around.
I appreciate that. I'm always looking for new images for this area, because I've been living near the coast, and it's a totally different,
Oh, yeah.
All different.
they like the blues and the ocean, and here it's the earth tones and the mountains and the,
How do you
Palm
care
trees.
for these in your house with dust or,
just a feather duster.
okay?
Yeah,
Are they laminated?
no.
So if you have a leak and it gets wet, it's gonna, a little bit, right?
If it stays wet for a long, long time, yeah, it would.
Yeah.
But you can put them in a room where there's a lot of humidity.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect it. Some people have put them outside under and
Yeah.
heat and so forth.
How about direct sunlight?
That's fine. Now I have some photos here.
What's really nice
Of
is that
some of
they're
my past
lightweight.
shows and some celebrities that own my art.
And how much are?
I was gonna say,
Pieces?
actually,
They're
your
up
pricing?
300. This one about 120, and this one about $80.
Is that on?
Oh, yes, I need to tell you that you'll be seeing, if I get in, this is canvas, and this is a cement paste that I use. And I also put it on wood.
It's a wonderful art medium. It adheres to anything
Really.
and it takes paint really beautifully.
Nice.
What did you have at the Village Fest when you were here before?
The same
Ah.
type of art.
Oh, my God. Look at that. Okay.
So your prices say everything was from 40 to 800, a couple of 600s, but
Yes,
okay,
yes, absolutely. Yeah, I have some pieces this big that
okay.
I didn't want to bring here.
The photographs helped, so thank you for that. Very unique.
Keith, do you, as part of your display, advertise the sustainability of what you're doing here? And
I'm not a good marketer, but I'm getting better. And that's my plan.
I would highly encourage you, certainly here in Palm Springs, sustainability is a big issue, as it is around the world.
Right.
But I would certainly ask you to make sure that people understand what this is, because that's part of the uniqueness of what you're doing.
Thank you.
If you have a pamphlet or signage that you can add that to, it's probably a good idea.
Yes.
It's not mandatory, but it's a good idea.
No, I'm gonna do that.
And
look,
will you ship
this-
these for people?
I do ship, yeah. So when I have done this show, I've shipped to Seattle, all over the country.
they're
And
pretty light.
that's how I got into paper. I want to make something that wouldn't be expensive in posting.
Yeah.
So I started looking at light mediums and subtle.
Brilliant.
papers.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, that's.
Or you can fold it and put a stamp on it and then open it up.
Yeah.
That's great. I like that.
Yes.
Really nice work.
Beautiful.
Any other questions for Keith?
I move that we accept Keith into Village Fest.
Do we?
I'll second.
Thank you. Let us vote. Mitchell,
Yes.
Cheryl,
Yes, sorry.
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
I vote yes.
Yes.
Julia and David.
Only because your last name is Anderson, so yes.
Congratulations, Keith. Welcome.
Thank you. It's good to see you all
Look forward to
again.
seeing you on the street.
Yes.
Really interesting.
Interesting work.
Thank you.
Great idea.
Nice and nerds, good. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
James Clattenburg. James, are you here?
Okay.
Hi there.
Hi, James. How are you? Welcome.
We just spoke.
Yes.
Am I coming here tonight? I didn't know. But I'm ready. So I was in advertising for a very long time, art direction, graphic design, and I've been designing t-shirts on the side for a shop at Province Fact. 10 years. So I don't know if you're familiar with that part of the country. Beautiful. So when I moved here, I just had a bunch of sketches, and so that's what I've been doing. I'll show you the samples. So I started, these are kind of more pickleball-ish, just because it's so popular everywhere. So.
That's her
My
new
new-
sport.
my new profession.
So, do you have a copy of the thing I
They
sent
have
you?
the
Yeah,
application.
yeah.
So, obviously pickleball themed. And I do send out to a focus group, so people that play will give me a yay or nay. So all of these got me yay. They range in price from 25 to 32.
That one is.
Isn't that
that's
fun?
Adorable.
So I have another idea.
Anyone can wear that. You don't
I
have
haven't done it yet, but it's a Dracula one, so it's got fangs and blood dripping, but the big pickleball. This one kind of made it look like Heinz.
Yeah. Or either Easter egg or reindeers
Yeah.
or anything.
This
any
is a
season.
new, this is my only tank top.
Oh,
Mm,
that's
At the
nice.
moment.
That's nice.
That's very nice.
I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah.
Filling your application, yeah.
For here, yep.
This one I just did,
Love that.
because you know, I look at
Absolutely
the
love that
shops
one.
and there's really not a lot of variety.
No,
And I'm a typographer, so you know, I probably spend way too much time kerning and all that. And currently I'm only doing one design in one color, because I don't want to carry a huge amount of inventory.
Yeah,
So sometimes the color will be part of the design.
yeah.
Are they all one size?
They're unisex,
Okay.
so small to double X. And they're all cotton, Bella canvas, they're nice quality.
What do you?
dinking is how you, when you hit the ball and pick a ball from
Okay.
one to the other, you dink apart from that.
Art they do.
And then I'm doing this one in a,
That's great.
That's
I like that one, yeah.
Beautiful.
I like it.
Logo.
and then this one I'm gonna do, but I'm just gonna add Palm
that's
Springs
awesome.
because if
Yeah.
people like,
Look
you
at
don't
the
see
muscle
Palm Springs.
I love that.
That would also be great in either a muscle t-shirt
Yep, that's
or in a tank top.
Yep.
Yeah.
a tank, we're in a tank.
That's it.
Yeah.
So my silk
It's a gym
screener is
shirt.
in Palm Desert. All except that this one is printed in Cat City.
These are nice.
Is what?
Cathedral City.
Okay.
And then I have, well, if you saw the application, you see the marketing, because I'm an ad guy.
And you do it all top, right?
Yeah, they're all cotton.
Because a lot of people are
Sign.
doing these poly blends and
Yeah.
I hate them.
Yeah,
Or
these are all
a lot of
cotton.
them.
They do shrink. So what I've been doing is I'll take, my silkscreen guy gives me just blanks. So I'll take I'll take all the sizes. So,
Awesome.
because these are, I package these, I don't throw it. So so that way people can tell what the size is like. They can even try them on if they want. So,
Everybody knows it's Bella Canvas because it's
Yeah.
used so widely.
one of
So
the
you know your
better
size
ones.
in Bella Canvas.
Yeah. and these are all unisex. I might do some women's sizes. I don't know. Well, like I said, I've only got 10 designs currently, but the site I've got more.
Like
Do
a
your
cap
office-
sleeve t-shirt, sorry. Like a cap sleeve t-shirt.
I have not done
Oh,
one.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
So with the name, I'm assuming your core brand is a t-shirt or a tank top, is that right?
Yeah.
Nothing with a collar, nothing,
No,
okay.
not yet. I've got one that is designed right now that is just gonna be, it's pickleball themed, but it's just gonna be more like a small crest.
I just love your concept, the product concept pieces that you included in your file. These are brilliant. Come out with those fast.
I wake up in the middle of the night and I have to scribble stuff down.
It's great.
So, like this one originally said. And this is my focus group, this woman said, oh, it said, let us out, we just wanna play. And then in parentheses, just look at how sad little faces, and she said, you don't need that. So I take input from people before I actually send it out.
That's awesome. That's so unusual for especially small business to do that and actually gather feedback in advance.
Well, I used to do focus groups all the time, being an advertising.
Same.
So sit behind that mirror and horrible, I hated it.
I was on the other side of it.
The other side, yeah.
James, your work is great.
Thank you.
I think your designs are really marketable.
I'm gonna do
Um,
this one for Pride
yes.
in the rainbow colors.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't wanna do more than 6 because you get into all these colors and it's so expensive.
And I was going to say to you, this Village Fest Festival is predominantly visitors.
Mhm.
And residents who bring visitors. So keep that in mind that your marketing pickleball may not be as popular in somewhere else as it is here. But we want you to sell t-shirts. So
Yeah.
your PSP and your
Mhm.
Palm Springs and those Palm Springs centric logos, I think will be
Yeah.
very
I don't know if
popular.
you looked at the site, but I have
I
some
did.
up and coming ones.
Yes.
Like I wanna do one that says Cat City, but I don't know if that would sell. Cause I live in Cat City.
I saw that one and I think it's brilliant.
Okay.
It has the mid-century modern cat
The
on
cat,
it.
yeah.
It's so
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
I think that would sell even to people who live in Palm Springs. I would buy one of those.
I
would
did
wear it.
this one because I didn't have anything that said Palm Springs.
I
except
love
for
that.
The logo I put on
Yeah.
that.
I even thought that your PSP shirt, I would trademark that logo. That is,
That's
Did you
beautiful.
the
In the
design
pink style, yeah.
Yeah,
with
Yeah.
the rainbow colors and the plain
Mhm.
kind of,
I also love that you pick the background color to go with the design rather than having the same t-shirt in black and brown. and green,
Right.
Because how would you carry that all and the size range?
Right.
And then people come and go, oh, well, the one I liked, he doesn't have in the color I want or in the size I.
So if you go
I
on
think it's better.
my website, well, I have 2 websites, I have one for the t-shirts and one for my design work. You'll see a lot of shirts that I've done for a shop in P-Town. Like for 10 years, I've done 50, 60 designs. And I see people wearing them here and I'm, I did that. Yeah.
Probably more black background and white background.
Yeah.
Okay.
any other questions for James? I think we're ready for a motion.
Oh, I'll move to approve, sorry.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Let's vote. David?
yes.
Celia?
yes.
I vote yes. Dan?
Yes.
Cheryl?
Yes.
And Mitchell?
Yes,
Congratulations.
I'm excited.
Welcome to Village Fest.
Thank you.
And it,
I love your business approach. It's all very well thought out. It was.
like I said, I spend way too
Yeah.
much time, but thank you.
Okay,
It shows.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what were the prices?
They
25,
range from
30?
25 to 30. If
Okay.
it's a double X, it costs me $2 more. So
Yes.
have that on, but yeah, I think this one is 28.
Okay.
So yeah, my guy's in Palm Desert and he's not as cheap as somebody else, but I really like him. He's a designer as well, so kind of.
I think it's great to keep it local.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't-
It's local and yeah.
Carbon footprint.
Yeah, I don't want to send them, overseas, because then I can't see the quality,
And if they have more colors, then they're a little bit more money, right? It's really by
Yes,
number of colors.
the two-color-
Yes.
The highest one I have is this one, which is I think a 5. That's 6.
Mm.
It's this one with the tongue,
Mm.
but I wouldn't do it with the black next time because you can barely see it.
You don't need a block.
You don't need it.
Mhm. Very good. Thank you so
So
much.
what are the next steps? I just hear from.
Faith will
Okay.
be your guide.
Thank you.
Fabiola Delgado.
are we
Your
gonna
next,
have
please.
Oh, the jury people back.
Oh, have they come back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We'll get to you next. Come on, Fabiola.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you.
I focus on more on the beauty products and beauty side. I studied botany for a few years, didn't graduate, but I did it for a few years. My family, they're also native, so we also do a lot of with herbs and everything. So I created a multi-benefit hair oil with just herbs and all natural products. It works for all hair. Did you want me to pass it around?
No,
Oh,
He's coming back.
signage.
Thanks. Go ahead.
Sorry.
I used to struggle, I used to work 40 hours and go to school, so, and I used to struggle with a lot of hair loss, with a lot of stress. And then, spend a lot of money on a lot of products, but like a lot of products have harsh chemicals and clog the pores and everything. And so I used what I was studying to create a hair oil, so I do all the measurements, I buy all the herbs, it is infused with 20+ different herbs. Which is why it's benefit, because not just for the hair growth, it is also to heal the hair strands, prevent dead ends, people with curly hair, bring the curls back to life. People with straight hair, hydrate their hair, it helps with like a lot, it has a lot of benefits to it, and has no harsh chemicals. I'm currently working on making like a hair, cream, but for now I have this hair oil and, I sell it for $45 each bottle, just 4 ounces.
So what's your background
Background,
in terms of making a hair oil?
so I buy all the raw.
What's your background?
School or what is your?
I studied botany for a few years, so botany is plants, and then,
Yeah.
my family, they are natives in Costa Rica, the indigenous, so then you grew up with plants, so instead of using medicines, we've always used teas, herbs, and everything that's more natural instead of things that are processed. So then because I couldn't find like any beauty products that were like completely natural, anything for the hair that's completely natural. And because I was already studying botany, I decided to come up with this oil. I'm 24 and I came up with it when I was 19. Been using it ever since, sold it to a few friends, been a year ago, that's when I created the website, made it more public. And yeah, I've been getting like.
Can you pass that around?
Yeah, it does have like you can smell herbs, it has no artificial scent. You're gonna smell the herbs it has like hibiscus, chamomile, ginkgo, nettle, amla, all sorts of others, 20+ herbs.
So you claim that it grows hair?
It helps with hair growth, yes, and prevents hair loss.
How do you know that?
The herbs that it is used, it has been used for centuries to help with hair growth from different cultures. And I have seen it from my TikTok page. That's where I post most of my testimonies of people has helped them with hair growth, as me as well.
So there's very few products on the market that are can actually claim to assist in new hair growth. So Are you telling people, yes, your hair will grow with this?
Read,
As multi,
we need to read the print, and my glasses aren't even that strong, so. It does say. I'm sorry, it looks like it makes a lot of potential claims, helps grow this, prevents hair fallout. There were words that some of the ones just caught my mind. Has it been tested? Has it, have you,
I'm in the process of looking for a lab, to get it, get obviously back lab science studied by a lab. But it is completely used with natural
But
and organic products.
has it been patented? Has it been run through testing? I don't know enough about this as a.
Well, to cut to the chase, right? A product like this, to make those claims publicly, that needs to be confirmed, I think, with the FDA, actually. So that's law in this country. So that's why we're asking all these questions. It's getting confusing because we have turned down vendors before that have made claims of either healing or, you know, benefits that are not proven. Yeah. So, you know, if
I can take off those claims until I get it back lab science. I can take it off from the tag. It is like a completely natural product, hair oil that does.
But we can't approve it until you get it.
Or you can take off that it's a guarantee that's on the
And
bottle.
bring back the
Then
product.
you're just selling an herb solution, a natural oil solution, right? So if it's not a guarantee of hair growth or to reduce your blood pressure, or those are all, and that may be true of all these herbs, we're not just saying that's not true, but it's not something that we can endorse because there's no medical
Yeah, I can
background.
take that off from the tag. That's completely fine. Just call it or like in regular oil or hair oil.
But then if I'm a customer, why would I buy it?
what are you
And
telling me? Yeah, verbally, just because it's not on the label.
you can say, oh, I've grown up with this my
What can
whole
you do
life,
for me?
generations of my family. What happens if I have no Puerto Rican experience?
Costa Rica.
Or Costa Rica, excuse me, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Well, people that have bought from me, that I tell them that it does help with the hair health. So.
But I don't know you because I just met you at a booth at the VillageFest.
I think you could say things like nourishes your hair.
Fabiola, we know you believe in your product, you formulated it, and we appreciate that and understand that. In the health and beauty marketplace, not only this VillageFest board, but the entire scientific community depends on independent laboratories testing and approving. And with blind medical studies that a product does this or it doesn't do that. The claims you're making, to be honest, you cannot substantiate. And unless you go out and get this product tested,
I just haven't done that yet because it costs like thousands of dollars.
Absolutely it
And I
does.
was thinking of
Absolutely
a
it does.
small business, like I just wanted to grow and then do it.
And we understand that, but if you can't make any of those claims, then in my opinion, you really don't have much to sell. To board member Anderson's point, someone walks up and says, what is this? And you say, it's for your hair. What does it do? Well, you know.
Well, another concern I have is that I buy something, I try it for a couple of weeks, no offense to anyone, but then I come back with a different color, or I'm bald, or it's a protection for you that they can't come and sue you and take your business and everything else you have away until it's verified and we have statistics and proof. I don't feel comfortable with it. I'm sure you do. I'm sure your family does. And I'm sure your friends do because they trust you. We don't know you.
But it's open to liability.
Yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And is this the only product you would be selling? Just
As
this
of the
one?
moment, yes, it does. I do all the measurements and everything. I am the boss creating a hair cream. But as of the moment, yes.
Yeah, I think you just have to consider your labeling and what you're promising. You can't really make a promise that's not backed up with scientific fact.
That's why I said it helps. I don't say like guaranteed.
Well, we don't even know that it helps. There's no scientific proof that that helps either. So you could say it's nourishing. It's.
Maybe it only works for women instead of men,
Right,
or
you know, it's not,
you don't know how many
are there
people
allergic
you've
to the?
tested on or studied.
My customers have been from men, women, all hair types.
Yeah,
But
but it's not a scientific
But if
analysis.
she has, if you have ingredient A, B, C, D, and E, and that's the full ingredient list. And you have from the FDA that says fenugreek has been proven to blah, 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 as per the FDA, you could structure your literature around that, but you can't structure it the way you're doing it now, because again, if the FDA has approved and made that statement, then you don't need to test that, right? You can say fenugreek, blah, 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 right? Am I right?
Jasmine has her hand raised.
Oh, good.
Jasmine?
So yeah, I was gonna concur with what Dan said. I think that we have to stay within what we have done in the past, which is when we've asked people to change the language and their promotional material. We have not allowed them to participate with this type of product, but we have asked them to come back to the board with marketing and promotional material that fits in line with non-claims of medical or non-claims of anything that's guaranteed. And I don't know if this particular vendor has that ability to do so, but I want to ensure that we are maintaining what we have done in the past, which has been asking people to make sure their marketing material fits into what the board thinks is appropriate. And if I'm hearing this any differently, please feel free to let me know. But from what I understand, this is very similar to items that we currently have on the street. And the board has asked vendors to make sure that their marketing and promotional material does not make any significant claims.
I have a question. Can she make more cosmetic types of claims? Will make your hair feel
Shiny.
silky, look shiny, will make your curls, you know, that kind of thing, as opposed to health types of claims.
So present it as a grooming product.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I'm gonna read something to you right now.
It's beauty, it's not like.
Right. So if it was geared more to that, like as somebody who has curly hair when it's not blown out, right? I am always looking for that product and having that natural product that would make it look shiny, that would keep my curls, that kind of thing. My question is whether, to the board, I guess, is whether that would be okay. If those are true, I don't wanna create claims of anything.
If I could state my concerns. We have one sample going around, but it looks like you sell at least 9 different types, 9 different
I
flavors.
think those are ingredients.
Those are the ingredients.
All this is in one, you only sell one product?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
So-
my misunderstanding.
Yes.
My other concern is just the title of what you're calling it. There's 2 words that really scare me, magic and elixir.
I can change the name, that's not a problem.
So back to what I said and Jasmine said as well. So I just looked up something, right? I said FDA fenugreek benefits. Medicinal use of this product has not been approved by the FDA. So there's no medicinal use approved by the FDA for fenugreek, right? So what I was suggesting you do, which is you have to look them all up and see. And so the ones that do, that the FDA has approved them for use for a certain thing and has proven that benefit, you can claim that benefit and say as per the FDA, right? However, for something like fenugreek, you could just say it's just an additive, but you can't make any claim about that.
Well, the additive itself may be approved, but when you're mixing it with other things,
That's
the
another good
chemistry
point.
changes.
Another good point.
But Fabiola, let me say this, I think you believe strongly in your product and we appreciate you coming here, and hopefully some of the things we've said to you will help you to go back and rethink your idea and perhaps get some scientific help and support in bringing this back. But I'm going to make a motion now, and I hate to disappoint you, but I'm going to move that we disapprove your product for VillageFest. Is there a second?
I'll second, I'm sorry.
So let us vote. Mitchell,
Yes,
Cheryl,
Are you yesing that we?
yes, that we.
That we
deny it,
disapprove.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree that we should disapprove until you can come back with some of the other things we talked about.
Dan,
I would say again, disapprove, and you're welcome, of course, to reapply. Yeah, let's understand that, but this is not gonna be a come back in a week with
Right.
this and.
correct, and I vote yes.
We can't solve your.
I'm gonna vote yes too, but I'm also gonna say you can, if you repackage this as a beauty treatment.
Cause it is a beauty treatment.
I know, but that's not the way you're presenting it. So if you repackage this on the bottle and the labeling and present it as just, it's gonna make your hair shiny or it's gonna whatever, then I think it has merit. But as it stands now, I'm gonna vote yes.
David,
Yeah, I have to agree.
we appreciate your entrepreneurial spirit and hope you will work further on this and come back some point.
Absolutely. Don't be discouraged by this. It's just your first step.
So I just wanna understand, so are you asking her, she can come back just as long as she changes her label?
No,
That's not what I'm understanding.
We're not, we don't wanna prescribe a solution.
correct.
Because when we've done that in the past, it's come back to bite us, it's an issue, really, it's more in the way it's presented right now. And with the benefits that it's presented with, is not approved. So she's welcome to go back and re-engineer all that in her head, or in the product or in the literature, and then just reapply. The thing is, you'll refund her application fee, right? So that then she can reapply. Is that how it works or no?
No,
No.
but, so I'm not, so you want her to, I guess I'm not understanding.
We're just trying to-
No, I understand that, but I'm trying to see what it is you need from her, because we do have other.
That's up
products.
to her.
Right,
Her
I know,
product
I'm
is-
trying to understand so that I know
Oh.
when I speak with her or
Okay.
she comes back to
Oh,
me, so that I
gotcha.
understand.
Gotcha.
So you don't want her product at all, she needs to reformulate her product and not the label?
No,
No,
the claims she's making with her product.
Right, so if she can't just change the label, is that not?
it's more than.
It's way more than that. It's way more complicated than that. There is no scientific evidence of any of the things she's saying. And even if she took all of that off there, I'm not sure that there's really anything that she has to sell at this point in time. But let me say this, we've made a motion, it's passed, and
No, I
so.
want to understand because I deal with them after. So
Yeah.
when they come to me and say, what is it that I need to do so that I can come back to you to get approval? I need to understand what I'm discussing with her.
I think.
And I
she
know
has to
that we do
research
have
it.
other vendors on the street that have products that they have said grow hair and things like that. So
No,
I.
we do not.
But we refused them on that, if you remember, and they came back and they presented the product as a different kind of thing. In other words, as a different benefit. That's the point. So, you know, she would have to do research on each one of the ingredients and research on combining the ingredients and what is actually officially the word on that. And then she can decide whether she wants to make those claims and put them into her literature. If she wants to represent the product as a beauty or grooming treatment with different benefits that she can claim, but she can't claim hair growth, and she can't claim blood pressure. And it's
I
out of.
don't think it says blood pressure,
No.
it doesn't say blood pressure.
Okay, sorry, but whatever they were, the other things. other than hair.
Let's move on, okay? Thank you.
Thank you. Don't feel bad.
Paco, are you ready to come back?
Oh, yeah, sure. Hello again.
Hey, welcome back.
So I did bring a few more things that I forgot I had in my car.
Awesome.
So these are a few more rings. They're smaller.
Oh, very good.
Delicate for, if you guys want to take a look at them. And then this one is quite a lot of them, you know. These are the bracelets.
Okay.
That's an example of one of them. This is three more. Those have stones. I believe those are rubies, garnets, white opal. I'm not sure. I didn't get to see one.
Purple and white.
Yeah, that's the white opal. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are beautiful. I like these. They're so delicate.
So I have some of the hoop earrings similar to the ones that I'm wearing.
Right.
Few samples.
You had more than you thought you did.
I forgot I had it there in my car, I really.
No, what
We're
about
gonna
these
put it on your
bracelets?
file,
Yeah,
like this. And these are bracelets, pendants?
no, these are,
Earrings.
they're called single earrings.
Okay.
Yeah, you can buy just one, or you can buy a pair, or you can mix them. A lot of people nowadays, they mix them.
So these bracelets, basically you make the charm and then the
Yeah,
chain
the
is
side,
purchased.
yeah.
What about the class?
No, we don't do the class. We
That
don't
usually
do
comes
that,
with
no.
a change.
I know, but. I'm finding it for 75%. But yeah.
This is
That's
a-
another
design, yeah.
bracelet.
This is a skill that
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
requires,
This is
I-
another
That's-
bracelet.
I do agree with
artistry.
you.
it's not like somebody just.
I agree. You're absolutely right.
And these are threaded earrings, so basically,
Mhm.
yeah, if you're familiar with them, so you
Yep,
can
yep.
put them through your ear,
Yep.
yeah.
You know how long it takes to make one of those charms?
Yeah.
I can
It's
imagine.
it's a process. It's a huge process.
And these ones are studs,
These are the,
These are
put them through
studs?
your ear this. So it
and
goes.
they
through
all
your
have
ears this
stones.
way.
Oh my God.
Yes.
And just a few more of the rings
So
that,
it just hangs then, right?
No, you
Yeah,
can-
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
a pierced ear.
So it hangs front and back.
Yeah.
Right, you put it,
Oh,
that
okay.
post goes through
You
your
can even do
ear.
that. if you want.
You
I can
can,
say, yeah,
right.
yeah, got it. These are cool. Very good, very cool. Thank you. Any questions for Paco? Thank you for going
you
out.
for
and
going
getting
and
this.
getting it.
We now see.
much better than coming back, I live in West Hills, so much better.
These are studs
Going to my car and coming back,
on suede or,
West Hills out in LA?
yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah, it's a long drive. A friend told me about this show, so I've been wanting to try it.
I like the
His
skull.
name is Neil, he sells art.
I see.
I think the film is just.
He's the one that I recommended.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
really?
yeah.
So would you be coming
In other words,
once a week from
yeah,
West Hills to here?
Yeah, we would like to try it and see what happens. you
Yeah.
know.
I'm looking at it.
Hopefully
Yeah.
it's gonna be an
Yeah.
amazing show and then we can come back, yeah.
Where's the folder? I passed it
Very
around.
intricate, actually. for her.
No, I passed it around.
Oh,
And it had something very delicate on it.
That's it.
Oh, here, they're,
You put it away?
Yep,
Beautiful.
So the earrings, the single earrings,
Mhm.
it says $85.
It depends. We have them in 14 karat gold, the hoop with the bronze piece and the stone, starting usually at 85, depends. Yeah, our products go anywhere usually from 50 to 200. Unless it's 14 karat gold, they can go up to like $1,600. Yeah, so it depends on what it is.
Yeah. Any other comments for Paco, questions? I think we're ready for a motion then.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Let's vote. Mitchell?
Yes.
Cheryl?
yes.
Dan?
Yes.
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 And David?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you for making it. We're glad you
Yes.
went out to your car and came.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. So what with the process?
Oh, Faith will guide you through that.
I'm gonna give you the golden ticket.
Thank you.
We're done?
Yep.
Wonderful. Thank you guys. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Lindsay, right, Lindsay, is right here. There he is. Hello, welcome.
My colleague had to leave.
Oh,
She, Debbie Loney, she helps me with arrangements for the steel group.
mhm.
I've been in, we performed for the street fair before COVID. And then for the last couple of years, we dropped out. So we started again. And this time I wanted to offer a program to people who are retired, who've never played music before. I said, come on over. I'll teach you how to do this. Give me 55 minutes. And so we've just been playing, and the comment with my group was, I don't care if we ever perform for anybody, this is just an awful lot of fun. Unfortunately, or fortunately, my bass player was
part of our group before COVID. She says, let's play for the street fair. I said, okay, well, I'll take a presentation to them and we'll see what they think. So we just want to come out to play and make music for people. That's it. And can you there's a USB. Yeah.
It's gonna throw it,
I'll
but
pass this around.
it's not very.
So I wanted to show you our group and the group really got started again by one of my former students. I'm retired. One of my former students plays steel drums and he played at the McCallum and he's played all around town. He came by and he said, make me a backup group. I said, okay, so this is the backup group and our steel drum player.
So just to be clear, do you also do lessons, or this is not about doing lessons?
I'm sorry?
You do lessons as well, like you teach people how to do this?
We come over and rehearse at my place. It's a garage band.
I love
There's
steel drums.
7 to 9 people in the group.
Yeah.
Do you have a choice of which one? Try the MP4. You got it right there.
Such happy music.
Isn't it? So these are all people you've taught? Yeah.
That's from Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
It's so peaceful.
I love steel drums.
I love that you're recruiting retired people.
Yes.
Man,
I think that's the best part.
brilliant idea.
Do you actually have room to take more people on? Do you actually have room to take more people on to do this? Is that something you're interested in?
Yes,
Lessons?
and maybe,
Okay.
and
No.
And auditions.
I can squeeze a couple more in the garage. But other than that, one of my former students is now the band director at one of the high schools, and he wants to start a group at his school.
Oh,
After school. And that would be open, so if we got a lot of people and wanted to do it, we've got more room.
And I'll bet if you went to the Mizell Center or something, they would love a class like this at the Mizell
Absolutely.
Center.
Yeah.
Do you,
It's good for people.
would it be a form of showcasing your entertainment for private parties or for a lounge music? Or do you sell CDs or do you
You sell
just
nothing,
take tips?
or just for free. We just come out and play for free and for fun.
you should play at the cultural center.
Pardon me?
You should play at the cultural center.
I mean, what a great background
Right.
sounds for a dinner party
I
or
know,
something.
yeah. Can I see the file?
There's a little brochure in there, I
I
think.
passed it around
Okay.
or.
Can we
it's
take one?
stuck. There was 3 of them.
Yeah.
I just wanted everybody to see again.
Any more questions for Ray and his unique group?
I just love anything that involves other people, like especially our senior community. I think it's incredible to give them an opportunity to play, and it's probably really hard, but it looks really easy. But so thank you for doing that.
It's actually, I avoid saying things are easy because if it becomes complicated for you, it diminishes how you feel about yourself.
Yeah,
I don't think it's hard, but I'm a percussionist.
right.
And,
Percussionist or perfectionist?
pardon me?
Percussionist or perfectionist?
Both.
Percussionist.
I wasn't sure.
He's a perfect percussionist.
Perfect.
You'll never find both of them in the same person.
Another question, do you play, if you were hired to perform in an event, would you be able to play a themed music? Like, I heard that was ABBA, right? So, I mean, can you do a number of ABBA songs? Do you do like classical music or holiday music or?
Well, you probably noticed on the
There was a list.
There was a list
on the
of-
menu
yeah.
there that there is no island music there, no music of the islands.
Yeah.
except tomorrow, we're gonna actually start to play a number some of you will recognize called Rum and Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Which is a calypso number. But otherwise, most of our numbers are Latin.
Or something.
I love that.
No, I guess what I was saying is, I've had to, help raise funds for a nonprofit. And they want to do a holiday party. We want them to play holiday music is the background. No singing, no dancing, just very subtle music.
Yeah.
Or a theater company that wants to just do Broadway musicals, but no singing. This is like a perfect thing.
Yeah.
To, if you come up with a repertoire with that, I think it'd be amazing. These are some good mixes.
I think we're ready.
In all,
for-
in all due respect, we should really.
I think we're ready for a motion.
Stay on topic here.
How about a motion?
I move to accept this vendor at the VillageFest, and I love your doing it.
I'll second that. We ready to vote?
Yes.
Mitchell,
Yes.
Cheryl,
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
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 Congratulations. We can't wait to hear you.
Wow.
Thank you.
I can envision it as the backdrop to it, like.
Yeah.
And thank you for doing this for the community.
Yes.
Thank you.
Very much.
Our pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. With the board's permission, I'd like to deviate from the agenda a little bit, and we want to have a subcommittee report. And for the public record, let me give a little background if I can, so everybody understands. Previously, Kirsten Skaggs, who's a teacher at the Palm Springs High School, approached the board to explore some possibilities to collaborate. Kirsten is a faculty member of the Business Leadership and Entrepreneurship curriculum offered by the high school. Depending upon an individual student's goals, this curriculum prepares students to pursue careers with a baccalaureate degree, without a baccalaureate degree, or pursuing licensure or professional memberships in associations. The VillageFest board felt very strongly that there was correlation here as it relates to managing and overseeing the weekly VillageFest and the corollary to the business opportunity operators and entrepreneurs that make VillageFest successful every week. Tonight, we'd like to hear a presentation from Ms. Skaggs and her students on how we might collaborate together. So on behalf of the VillageFest board, I would like to welcome you all. Please come up. You can pull up chairs if you'd like to. And with that, I'm going to turn the program over to Cheryl, who with her subcommittee, Dan and Celia, will make introductions and we'll go from there.
Awesome, thanks. Thank you guys for coming. What was that? Thank you for having us. Of course. And so first I will introduce, now I don't remember because you were sitting in a different order and you're now standing in, but we have Hector, DeJuan, and Nathaniel. And I can't recall who was who. But I reached out to Kristen, just probably only about 2 weeks ago, just about a spring break was starting, which was probably about 2 months before, 2 months since Kristen's been here. But what we really wanted to do was think about a way to involve the students and this group in something meaningful, something real that we needed done, not just kind of create work for you. And we know that you go to different competitions and things like that. And so you do things that do sort of create businesses and, sort of for those competitions. But we have some real needs here. And we're really excited to be able to reach out and ask for your help. We think it's a great way to involve members of the community. I'm gonna take a bet that you've made it to VillageFest at least once in growing up here. So you're also customers of VillageFest, so you can really appreciate this. And so we, as we met as a subcommittee, we came up with some things that we really want to understand from our vendors. You just experienced one piece of the vendors coming in after they reach out to Faith and put through an application, they come in and present to us. But then we as the commission here don't have very much of an ongoing dialogue or feedback from these vendors. And in order to make VillageFest as great an experience as we can for them, which then turns into a better experience for our guests who come to VillageFest, we wanted to start a research program and open up a dialogue with our vendors. And that was what we asked for you guys to put a proposal together to help us do that and actually, conduct this research. So I was really impressed with what you came back with. We've shared it with some of the members here, and we wanted you to come in today and present it to us, and then we'll have a conversation and ask you some questions.
So the students emailed it to Faith. It's probably in your email. And then while we're finding that, the timing is really good because we have an event coming up with the district, and it is an annual showcase of all the CTE programs that happen in Palm Springs Unified. So there's 2 or 3 programs at each of the high schools. They bring them all together at the Air Museum every May and let the community see what's happening. So usually we have KESQ there. Sometimes we'll see the mayor. It's all of our powers in our school district come to see what each school is doing. So just so you know, that's open to the public. If you had any interest to see what's happening besides Business Academy. And it's some of the, one push we're making this year is to collaborate across programs. So business is trying to collaborate with welding, is trying to maybe collaborate with culinary. And you'll see all of those programs there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's exciting. Yeah.
I apologize for coming late. I honestly thought you were the steel band music. So I was like, I can't wait to hear these guys. Oh, no, that was it. I thought maybe that's one of their parents or something. I don't know.
No, if you think we play steel drums, then that's we've got the cool factor.
Only us two.
Oh, okay, you're the musicians.
We play guitar.
Okay, cool. Maybe you could join the band.
What you wanna do is.
I loved the music.
Yeah. I'd love to ask, what are your thoughts on what you observed tonight?
It's really interesting, honestly. I heard a lot of, I really like listening to the t-shirt guy. His idea was really, I really liked it. And along with the how you guys responded to the woman presenting her the oil product.
Magic elixir.
Yeah. I found it really interesting on how like you guys presented not sort of a solution, but like advice on what she has to do and rethink of her product, because that could go against a lot of guidelines and that could end up into a lawsuit or two.
Our ultimate goal is that they'll all succeed. And so we want to give them the best advice that we can give them, or suggestions we can give them. We can't tell people how to make their products, but we can make suggestions. If we don't
We
have
can't
them.
tell them their prices are too high or their things are ugly. Well, we can, but it doesn't help
We
us.
wouldn't use that word.
No, we would not. You think 2 out of the 3 elements that we do, the entertainment element, which makes us more like America's Got Talent. And then the craft and art, which is a whole nother design, jewelry and so many other things. The only thing, yeah, and that's the Shark Tank stuff. And then the other piece that you didn't see is, America's Best Cooks, and then where we get to taste everything.
We're like Chopped at that point.
Cheryl mentioned your names, but would each of you tell us who you are so I can, I know names, but I don't know what name belongs to who.
And your educational focus.
Yeah.
I'm Hector.
Hector,
I'm Nathaniel Ryan.
Nathaniel,
And I'm Deshaun.
Deshaun.
Would you guys like to sit down? You could.
Yeah, you can.
Sure,
We're
cheers.
also trying to figure, maybe one of you can help us figure out how to share this. Wanting to do it, and odds are you're better than we
What
are.
grade are each of you in?
We're all juniors.
You're all juniors?
All juniors.
All right.
Do any of you have a
Yeah, should be.
Career path?
specific focus right now on your educational? path?
happened. For me, I'm slightly undecided, but I'm leaning towards social sciences, particularly in humanitarian aid type of work, since recently me, Deshaun, and another fellow student of ours have done a Skills USA CTE competition for state based around community service. So I'm leaning more towards the humanitarian type of path because I'm interested in ethics, helping people around like the public policy area of things.
Okay. And
Well, I was
Hector?
interested in studying maybe finances and business in college.
Good.
However, there's like a lot of people doing that, so I'm kind of leaning towards something else. I'm not sure what else I'll do, but I'm leaning towards something
Not
else.
expected to know.
I was gonna say, it's also okay. that you're doing
We
it.
all change our minds
Many of us are
anytime.
still trying to figure out what we want to do when we grow up.
I'm going to venture to guess that none of us are doing right or did in our career an observer, what we thought we wanted to do
When we were like
when we
16,
were
17.
15, 16 years old.
I did.
Would it be
fun if we joined on a separate?
Really?
Yeah.
And.
Wow, we're unique. Well, I'm just amazed, I have to say, it's been a while since I've been in school,
No,
but for a year or two, for a high school to offer a curriculum such as this is
Yeah.
absolutely tremendous.
It is.
You guys are lucky and at the same time above grade, right? You're like
Okay.
Do you know?
very talented, so it's really good.
Join information?
Now, if they just add arts
Back.
back into the school
Yeah,
system,
no,
that'd be great. Music, art,
I don't think we're here for that, but yeah.
No, but it's true, yeah. I remember when it left,
yeah.
yeah.
Was it recently? I've only lived
Well,
here 6 years.
It was, to my memory, it was based on my own child being in sixth grade and it left when she was in sixth grade. She's 22 now.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So when it left, we left.
Ah.
I thought we would go to another state, so we did for a while.
Wow.
To have academics without the arts,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, my
makes
son's an
sense.
artist. He wouldn't
Yeah.
have gotten started if he didn't.
how could you do that to
Art in high
kids?
school.
That's a great point, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it becomes narrow.
Yeah.
And then you also send them the message also that these things don't
It's
matter.
not important.
That they're not important,
Exactly.
yeah. But you see Abby Carter, how successful she's.
I watched her
Oh
last
my
night.
gosh, I know, I did
Yeah.
too.
Just.
I don't
fabulous.
watch that thing.
It's-
She could
it's
very well
fabulous.
win this.
I only watched it for her.
Yeah, she could very well win this.
Fast
In
forward,
20
fast
years, I
forward.
never voted on American Idol. until
She's already
Yeah.
got speed dial now.
But she's excellent.
The problem is the voting ends before the show's even on the air in California.
Right.
Oh,
But they do show it earlier on Sundays, so you can vote. Is it
Not
Sunday?
live, no.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
I guess
it was
live
on, it was on
now.
at 5 to 7, so
Oh.
at least maybe on our local channel,
do you think it could be the recording?
but yeah, it's
There's an echo in your.
Yeah, you do. I think
Maybe
mine's
just move
too
it away a
close.
little bit. Try that now. That's all.
Hello.
Yes.
Okay. We're still working on getting this to present. We can't figure out why.
and he doesn't get out of having to tell us
What are
his
we
story
looking for?
while he's doing.
Well, they're gonna present to us,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna ask them some questions. So they're
I
gonna
mean, what
present.
are we looking for online here? What-
Oh, how to share, no, well, they have the file, but when we hit share screen on
Oh.
Zoom, it won't share it. So Jasmine's screen, Faith's screen just goes black.
So can you dial in from another computer and then?
Hold
share
on one
your
second.
screen?
Is it coming from the drive? Is that why?
No,
Oh.
that's RTC.
You downloaded the file to your desktop?
She has it. on
Cause you can
there.
share your desktop that way.
That's what she was trying to get.
Yeah,
Oh,
share your desktop.
you can do that and then Jasmine and Joe will see it.
But the thing that you open can't be from an external source. It has to already be on your desktop.
I think she was
Zoom,
just
I
like the
believe.
email.
When you say share screen, whatever is, you see on your screen should show up there. and
That's what it should,
it's
How much are the tickets to this? Do you know?
It's true.
It's
Really?
Yeah.
What does CTE stand for?
Career technical education.
Okay.
Yeah, and the students do absolutely everything that's there. They plan the events, they organize the event space, they rent the tables and the tablecloths. They coordinate with the teachers. It's a group of students that they call them ambassadors, but
Nice.
they're event planners. Yeah.
Oh my
They do
God, really?
everything. They
Wow.
negotiate with the people who run, Fred Bell, I think is the person who runs
Yeah.
yeah.
Aaron.
Uh-huh, and, yeah, the culinary makes the hors d'oeuvres. Even students come in for entertainment. There was jazz music, last year, I think. This year, I think they're changing that, but it's really amazing to see the students take over and run things.
Great.
Yeah, yeah.
What is Faith off to?
I think she maybe went to get technical support. Are they?
I wonder if we should just, put up the slides on your, Chromebook and just go in there. It's a small.
We can probably see it from there.
Yeah, let's
we're
just
fine.
try.
Or just let them present it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
This is part of the glitches in presentation.
Exactly. Welcome to the world.
Well, and the competition that they were just in, they do present, they have a certain number of minutes to speak and they have slides and
With
they
notes.
have only so much time to set it up. And when the time runs out, there's no more setup time.
All right.
So let's,
Oh, so it's a slide presentation?
can we turn, yeah, they made slides. Can we turn it around this way?
Does she
So-
have the software on her house?
So you're the IT guy.
Yeah. If we just email it.
There we go.
It's kind of hard to see, I know.
No, we're not here.
We can see it. Yep, go ahead.
you may not be able to see the words on there, but
It's more important to hear what you have to say,
Yeah.
anyway.
And these guys need to see it too, because I think it helps them hold up place. I hope that's gonna.
Did you see? Okay, so, yeah, so to reiterate, I'm Nathaniel, this is Hector, and that's our IT guy. And on behalf of the entirety of the Able Academy, we present to you our PSHS Able VillageFest research proposal that you asked us to help produce. So if you can see right here, we've thought of an acronym. I'm a really big acronym guy. I grew up with this TV show called Phineas and Ferb, and they always come up with weird acronyms. So I'm a big acronym guy, and I thought of the acronym CIM, CIM. That stands for Comms, Information, and Marketing. We will go in depth with that on the next slide.
So starting off, we have C, which stands for communication, and we plan to open or create an open market of communication between the vendors and VillageFest, just so that everyone can know what they're thinking and what can happen. Our first idea is a virtual suggestion box, and this will connect VillageFest vendors to the attendance of VillageFest, just so that they can see what their products may be lacking, what they can do better, and how to get a bigger audience to actually come and support VillageFest. You know, obviously you want people buying the products. It's the whole point. So this will help that happen.
So I'm sorry, I have a quick, you know what, why don't we have you go through it and then we'll come back. We'll do that.
Okay. For the suggestion box, we were thinking of putting it on the main website on the vendors tab, and it would be on the front about right here, just so that it's a broad thing. If someone clicks the vendors tab, they can see how they can make suggestions and offer their input. And to actually implement this, we've created a, can you pass it along? Sure. It's a Google form kind of, and it's just like a survey of what the attendants would like to see or what they would like changed. And it's kind of like a rough draft. It can be changed. It's just a sample at this point. And it would be distributed through QR codes, and it could be on the online website, or going to the next slide. Physically, we could make flyers, and you put the QR codes in the flyers. You put them in like boxes around the VillageFest vendors. Maybe have each or like every other vendor have a box, have the flyers in there, and then attendants can just grab a flyer, scan the QR code, and give their suggestions.
And now we're in the middle of the presentation where I, the guy sitting in the middle of these three, talk about I, which is seeking information from other vendors and other sources. So you guys came to us with two goals or questions for us to help you guys accomplish. One, how do we optimize VillageFest, aka how do I optimize the experience? And two, how do we connect with vendors? So we have a slight solution to that. Pushing out a questionnaire. By pushing out this questionnaire, we would push it out both virtually and physically. It's just a whole, I would like to say like questions on like feedback, suggestions or whatnot to the vendors. Like, do you have any issues with such vendors, or do you have issues with like vendor spacing, like you guys were discussing earlier and beginning of the meeting, like vendor spacing and whatnot, because really, as us high school students, we don't know the true scope, and you guys probably may know the full scope, but not like the in-depth, what goes on day-to-day operations, physically, what happens on that Thursday night. So by pushing out a questionnaire, you guys will be able to have another source of information that you can easily grab. We would put this through an email and wait a week, and then after that week has done, if no one has responded to it, physically go up to them, communicate with them like, hey, you guys aren't responding. We would like you to respond to this questionnaire and give us some feedback, questions, suggestions, etc. Implementation, I'm not sure why I remembered putting out. Oh yeah, okay. So we would put it in like similar to what Deshaun said earlier about QR code and a Google form. We would do the exact same, a QR code and a Google form, but it would be only probably for vendors, maybe attendees. We're still thinking about the logistics of such things, but I feel like it's best for the vendors first, so we get like to understand how it is in their shoes. And by gathering this information, we can use this to our advantage, but what do we do with this besides what I regurgitated right now? Well, my friend Hector here can present you with what we'll do with that.
So next up, we have M, which stands for Additional Platforms for Marketing. So currently, VillageFest, Facebook and Instagram social media pages contain around 11,000 followers on Facebook. However, they don't gain that much audience, and their Instagram profile has half of that with around 5,100 followers. However, their reels gain way more support. So these are some current TikTok and Instagram ads, which businesses use to promote their products and services to other people. And what we're thinking of doing is implementing VillageFest onto TikTok because they have a larger young audience. And they also help spread ads through they spread ads to people through their location and what they've recently searched up online. So next up we have vendor spotlight. Can you hand it over?
Yeah, sorry. It's so hard to see from over there.
So we have a spotlight. So since many businesses started at VillageFest, we thought it would be a great marketing strategy to start a short documentary on their businesses successfully grown through VillageFest. So for instance, when Mayor Bernstein visited our classroom to share his history on how VillageFest helped him establish Destination PSP, it would be a great thing to spotlight that.
I didn't know that they were
Yeah.
a VillageFest vendor
Yeah.
before that, until I read the proposal.
And in the end, we have our summary of everything we talked about, starting with communication or comms. We have a virtual suggestion box from the attendees and the vendors for them to communicate. A QR code, which we would hand it out online, and then a flyer, which would contain the QR code if you want to give it out physically.
And the information is just similar to that. It's just pushing out a questionnaire physically and virtually reaching out to such vendors if they're non-responsive to gather info about what's going on, what's the thing, what's the deal, and pushing out a QR code, as Deshaun said, to help easily spread this questionnaire.
We have our marketing, which social media marketing through Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok to help reach a broader audience.
And that,
Awesome.
and thank you for your time.
Fantastic presentation.
Really good presentation. Very good.
I'm proud of my fellow board members for not interrupting you. We tend to do that way too much, and I'm supposed to be the timekeeper.
Shall we interrupt you, David? now?
You may.
Make you feel better.
Good.
No, they put this together within a few days after getting back from spring break, is my understanding, because I reached out to Kristen, it was right before spring break. And literally within a week of them getting back, they put this on.
I'm very impressed. And I also want to thank you, Cheryl, for all of the work that you've done. You were, Dan and I were on the committee, but
Yeah, you were.
you were the liaison and you did a lot of the heavy lifting. Thank you for that.
Congratulations, great
Yes,
work.
yes.
And the power of what you've done is to see Village Fest through your eyes, not ours, but for yours. If you follow the politics of the city of Palm Springs at all, they're about to spend a lot of money to grow the library and improve the library. But one of the city council people said the vision for the library is not for my child to use the library, but my child's child to use the library, to have that forward look and to make sure that this is viable for another 32 years. And so I appreciate your work. I'm very interested in what you see at Village Fest. And if it was yours, if you were sitting at this table and had oversight, what would you change? What would you do? Because that's what we're charged with, is making this work every week. And it's been going on for 32 years. I know there's an opportunity for continuous improvement. I'm sure of that. So thank you. I'm just really impressed.
So what are our next steps?
I love the documentary idea, the sharing
I would like
this
this one.
of the vendors. It kind of goes into what we talked about.
Exactly.
About how we support our vendors. and add that to our Facebooks and Instagram. So that's a great idea also. We've been kind of discussing that, so bravo for
The
seeing that.
success stories are very popular and it's exciting. When somebody comes in with an idea and all of a sudden it becomes success at Village Fest and they go to other festivals or other demonstrations or places around the community. And then it goes so far as to say, I want to put my company into a brick and mortar store. I want to branch out. I want to hire employees. That's what we all hope for. When we meet with, we ask, what's your passion? Where'd you come up with these ideas? So this is a great opportunity to help create that incubator effect and watch it grow.
And as an example of that, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Heyday Burgers. It's across the street from the Arrive Hotel up on Palm Canyon, just below Vistachino. Heyday Burgers was a Village Fest vendor with a flat top griddle and a bucket of chopped meat, okay? And they did smash burgers, and their smash burgers are exceptional. They're fantastic. And they did so well that they wound up, actually during COVID, when we closed down, they wound up at the Hilton, sort of as a
They had
pop-up.
they had a bar restaurant that was closed.
And then after that, the Cole Hotel all the way up North Palm Canyon brought them in to actually serve poolside. And they were doing takeout from there because it was COVID. That was their idea. It was, again, brilliant thinking, right? Move with the market. And they wanted to have their own brick and mortar, and they had their eye on this little restaurant called JJ's Mexican because they liked the space and they knew the people there, and they liked the building, and they knew that JJ eventually was going to retire or, and sell the building. And they said to him, if you ever want to sell your building up, we'd be interested, because they figured we have enough time to build up our business to do that. And all of a sudden JJ came to them, and they didn't have the money. So Cheryl, why don't you expand
Yeah,
on?
so then what they did, because they wanted to open as quickly as possible. So that, I'd never seen a business do this before. Now I've seen it since then. They did a GoFundMe for local people. And I had been going to their burgers forever because they were so good from the time they started. So they asked people if they would contribute to allow them to get the new kitchen equipment that they needed. And then in exchange for what you donated to them, they gave you a gift card. So it was a 1-for-1 exchange as a
For the full
user.
amount.
So like I donated $250 to them, and I have since used up my $250 gift card. And they had a bunch of people, who came in with $5,
I did the same thing.
$1,000, and everybody got, it's a lot of burgers for $1,000, but it was just a really good success story. But they also were part of the community because they had started at Village Fest, so people really knew them and were rooting for them. It wasn't like some outside, company that was coming in and doing that. But,
So full circle, sorry, go ahead, finish.
well, I was gonna say what I think our next steps here
Yeah.
should be.
Well,
because
wait,
this-
I still had a couple questions. So full circle, as Mitchell started, our goal is for everyone at Village Fest to be successful, right? So that's kind of the thing, not just for everybody to feel like they're part of it, or, not the touchy-feely. It's more about, this is a business venture and we want them to be successful. So, you had mentioned, I had a couple questions. One was, you mentioned doing a Google form, right? I have a question about whether you can do that and have people complete it, even if they don't have a Google login ID. Can you do it anonymously? And the reason I ask that is, I have used Google Forms in the past, both for our neighborhood organization, which I was on the board of, and we also used it recently for 1PS. And one of the challenges we had is, there's people of all ages, right? Not everyone is in high school and is on Instagram and TikTok, and right? So there's a lot of people that the phone is still a phone to them, it's not a computer. So making it universally accessible rather than narrowing down to the opinions only of us tech geeks is probably a good idea. So I don't know if you can do that, but that's a question I have. Can you use Google Forms and have people respond to it without them logging in with their Google ID?
Well, there's other tools, job forms. I mean, there's whole lots of other.
No, I know there is, but that's what I'm asking them, because I know that they like to use Google Forms, and I think it's a good idea, but I'm wondering if you can do that. Really, that's for you.
Google Forms obviously isn't all encompassing. If we wanted to get everyone's opinion, whether or not they have a Google account, we couldn't use Google Forms,
Okay.
but we could use something similar that doesn't require a Google account.
What
Maybe
about
just-
pencil and paper?
Hmm?
Can
Yeah.
somebody fill out a piece of paper like the one that passed around?
Oh, it's
And then
gonna
you
make
guys
the
would-
analysis of data.
Oh, that's gonna be very tedious, but yeah, I mean.
There are going to be people that say, I don't even have a cell phone. They're
No,
gonna-
I totally agree. I'm just saying we should keep it all in perspective and keep that to a minimum if we can, but still allow it, yeah.
The easiest thing would be compiling it through like emails. So you'd have your email so that people obviously, well,
You have to write a program for that, but
oh yeah, but you'd have your email, so obviously people know you exist. You can't just put anything because then someone could just write an infinite amounts of suggestions. But you put your email down and then you'd say your suggestion and it removes the Google aspect, so it's more encompassing. And it could also just get the same amount of data.
And you mentioned TikTok because you said because there's a younger audience. Is it TikTok exclusively or are you proposing using all three platforms?
TikTok.
Excellent, okay.
No
Because
Snapchat?
TikTok just got passed.
Yeah,
by the
yeah,
Senate, or
Right,
sale.
does anybody use
You
Snapchat
saw that,
anymore?
yeah, just tonight.
No.
I don't think so.
Some
people
do, but
Okay.
not that many.
I used to
Not-
work
not
for them,
as-
so I'm just curious.
Let me
There's a
ask a
million
question.
of
I think your idea about the QR code is great. How do you filter out people using that QR code who just want to send in trash information?
Yeah.
You don't, you just, it goes with the game.
Well, are you,
When you look
Well,
at data.
right now, we're kind of like in the beta. We haven't
Yeah,
made anything
right.
final. Most likely, we could technically make a program that filters through that. Maybe it doesn't filter 100% accurately, but it gets rid of most of the trash that is just nonsense. And it
Well,
has the deep.
Could vendors create their own passwords?
Not sure.
Or could we assign them passwords based on, like the date they started or something? I don't know.
Well, I don't know that we need to solve the
Yeah, that's-
problem
yeah.
right now.
These
but-
are also two
Yeah,
separate
these are-
things. The
yeah.
QR code is, if I'm understanding it right, the QR code is for the suggestion box, which would be both for vendors and attendees.
Yeah.
And
Good,
then
good, that was
the
my next
survey
question.
is a different thing.
Yes.
That could potentially also be accessed through a QR code, through an email,
To the
with a
vendor.
Google, or say we decide SurveyMonkey or something else that would work. But these are, am I interpreting it right, that these are two distinct things?
Suggestion box is for the attendees and vendors, just so that they can connect, know what they need to sell
Good.
and what they can change.
Good.
And then the questionnaire is for VillageFest, you committee, and the vendors, just so that you guys can easily communicate and say, what do you need? What don't you like about your space? What do you want to change?
Right.
Without having to make a
That's great.
tedious
Yeah.
process.
So just to go full circle with what I was saying, a little bit of guidance to this would be that, remember what the purpose is, right? That we want them to be successful. So we want to ensure that the questions that we ask and the comments that we open up to are for constructive purpose, right? And some of the questions, things like, do you have any suggestions about pricing? There's some things that are a constant that will not change, and we have to be very careful to not build expectations on people that if they make a comment and then they don't see that change that they personally wanted, that they're not disappointed, disengaged, disenfranchised. So that was the only thing I wanted to say about that. Just keep that in mind.
I wanna add to that. There's this thing called VillageFest is like a three-legged stool. And the three legs are the vendors, who the people come to see, the people who come to VillageFest, and there's one more that in my mind is very important, and that's the downtown merchants. It's the
Yeah.
downtown corridor that makes VillageFest possible. So we don't want to leave them out of this equation.
That's a great.
We want to make this experience great for everybody, but they're very much a part of it too. And they're very left out of the process today. And so that would be one way for us to make this a home run for the city, that we bring it all together.
That's why Joy Meredith is on this committee, right? She's not a voting member, but she represents the downtown merchants, so they can have a voice. If you heard what her comment was earlier, right? She's always concerned about them and bringing their voice in, which is very important.
Well,
So,
quite honestly, many of them are not fans of VillageFest. Well,
Putting that mildly.
see, thank you, Joy.
I think that's a great point. I think that's another piece that we need to write, like a different survey.
Yes.
Because this is not geared to them, but I think it's a really great point.
But
that
Cheryl,
we
it is,
should do that as well.
it is absolutely the premier marketing opportunity.
Yeah,
for
I'm
these
agreeing
people
with you.
to
I'm just saying it's not in
participate
here yet.
in
and
the
it should be.
Village Fest experience.
Yeah, but so if we break this into different chunks, and I don't know, maybe there's a fourth letter for your acronym then, which would include the, you know, the.
Merchant.
Well, you
the
could
Main
break down the
Street- Main
surveys
Street
too.
folks. And Joy, I would ask for your help as we go into that part of this, right? With what kinds of questions, what do we wanna know from, the local?
If we had
merchants as well?
demographics, or you guys came up with demographics that could help, are you a local or are you a visitor, or are you a local with a visitor? How often do you come?
Yeah.
What's your age you know, your
Well,
age range and?
that's not for the vendors though, that's for.
No, yeah.
So I mean, I think one of the things to do is next steps on this, we can send there is a questionnaire that we started to pass around that these guys put a lot of work into. The worst thing is to write it by committee though. So I would suggest that if there's a way, if you can, like grant us access to that though, we can create comments into the questionnaire. So things like you're saying, you know, because you looked at it, that we shouldn't be asking about, like, do you want to pay less to come to Village Fest, you know, to participate? Then that can all get funneled through me back to you guys though, so that you're not taking in 8 different points of view.
Could Faith send us all?
I would like to ask you this. You hit a home run so far. You've sold this. Deshaun, Nathaniel, Hector, what's our next step? What do we do now? I'd like to hear from you.
Well, of course, our presentation, you pointed out that Village Fest is a three-legged race or three-legged stool, and our presentation only covered 2 of those.
Okay.
So, next step I was thinking is including that third leg, definitely adding an extra acronym. I was thinking of, I don't know, CIMI, I for inclusion, representing,
Like that.
including,
Like that?
the
Joy's smiling, I can tell.
joy, my brain is off right now. What's their?
Well, the
what's their-
CME acronym is a great acronym, CME.
Yes.
I mean, it's CME, and that's what we're asking to do is see them. So I think that's a great acronym, CME. Yeah, I love
Good
it.
answer. Deshaun, what do we do next?
Oh, I think the main thing would be, at least in my opinion, is in implementation. This is all theoretical. Everything can change. This is just a rough draft, as you might say. But I'd say the next thing would be actually reaching out to vendors, reaching out to the public, asking what they like, what they need, what they want changed. Personally, since I have gone to Village Fest quite a lot of times, it's kind of like my thing that I do after Thursdays after school. It's just, you know, to see what's there. And I mainly, this is just my personal opinion, but I like the food areas. I'm a big foodie. And then when I see the arts and craft things, at least for me personally, I think, wow, there could be better things here. Because most of them are, in my opinion,
love your
kind of
honesty.
repetitive.
Hallelujah, my kind of person.
Because there's a lot of jewelry,
Yeah.
and most of them look the same. There's a lot of like wood things, which they look nice, but for a price tag of $80, I don't think I'm gonna go home with one of those.
So you've given me a strategy view. I like that. It's up here. Give me a tactical view. Give me one thing that we're gonna do. That you would say to start. We gotta take that first step down the yellow brick road.
I would say it starts with asking vendors.
Good.
What do they want changed? What do they think stays the same, and what do they think needs to go, as you might say?
Great answer. Hector, your turn.
Well, after that, I think we should like add some more modernistic like vendors, some more like new like technology-ish type of vendors.
Like what?
'cause-
Give me an example of that. What you would love to see.
not totally sure,
Categorically.
maybe,
Yeah.
Like categorically, maybe something to do with like technology, perhaps, something like of that area.
Phones, computers,
Drones.
earbuds,
But that's not in the
that,
camping.
well, I know, I'm just asking him. We're brainstorming here.
Are you talking products or are you talking, use of?
It can be both.
run
Demonstrations.
It can be both. I just like to like see more like modern, like just more like new day type of things there, you know, because I've gone there a few times before. I've gone there many times when I was a kid with my grandma. And they're just kind of the same things, you know,
Mhm.
like not really something that like a young teenager would.
What
think
would
about.
you're right, what would interest you?
Technology.
Technology. I personally like cars a lot.
Okay.
I'm not too
Cars.
sure about that.
Cars?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like vehicles, you know.
Ooh, we could do cars. Do cars.
I mean, sometimes we'll go
Okay.
to McCormick's after the fair. Nathaniel here, he likes what animation, stuff like that.
Yeah. But that's just a hobby.
Yeah,
Honestly, from what I remember going to street fair or Village Fest as a kid, I always remember the taste of the lemonade. I like the lemonade, but for me, I'm not really a big pro tech guy. I'm more of a I mean, this is just my opinion. You can have your
And we all have different ones.
yeah. I mean, for me, I like the crafts. I like the live music. For me as a neutral, like let's just say I'm not a part of this, and as a civilian, I think of Village Fest as a nice way to spend leisure time. I like the live music. I like the lemonade stand. I'm more of a chill type of guy.
So I heard, I like food. I like music. I like lemonade. And I like tech. Is that the list?
And cars.
And cars.
Well, I think something to draw younger people.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I'm going.
And that's great to add in, but you just pointed out something that is one of the most important things that we all need to do to bring Village Fest to that next level, which is all encompassing for everyone. You said I wouldn't spend $80 on a wooden board. I would.
Yeah.
Right? So there's my view and your view, and we should be considering them both, right? And I think that we're geared toward people who buy things and want things right now. And I think that's what you're saying, right? It's not only about going there to acquire things, it's also about going there to experience things, right? Did I read that right?
A little bit, yeah.
And with the cars, same thing, right? Experience it. So that's a great viewpoint, but keep all of that in mind, that it's a lot of people, try to put yourself in everyone else's place.
So so moving forward, is your suggestion, Cheryl, is that they compile, go back and rework or send you the questionnaire so that we can all have input into?
Yeah, well, I've got the questionnaire, so it's just about refining it, so I think.
Right.
What I'd love is for you guys to all take your time going through it, put
This-
your comments in
Both
there.
the slideshow and the survey.
Survey.
Yeah,
I think
really
the
the survey.
slide was really selling it to
Yeah.
us.
Okay.
It's
I
really
think the
survey.
survey, the questionnaire, but,
Okay.
so
We all
again,
need
it's
a
a
copy.
Google Doc, so if you can just provide access, right? And then what I can do is I can provide access to all of you guys.
Yeah.
Then I'll take all of the comments into a central thing, because I mean, I've lived this many times where then people take these surveys and they want to turn it into like the survey to answer all things.
Right.
And so I will work with them to then fine tune it. I do think we need answers to some of the tactical questions about if it is indeed in a Google Doc, can our vendors do that? You know, one of the times we all met, we talked about having some of the students walk around with city iPads and go to the vendors that didn't participate and actually walk them through the survey if we're worried about people not being able to use the QR codes and so on. But don't forget also, when you do a survey, we've got how many vendors in total?
170.
170. If we get 60 responses, and they're from a varied enough group of our vendors, statistically, that will be a good enough response. I mean, we should shoot for as much as possible.
That's
But-
optimistic, by the way, but yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that should be our next step, is really working on this questionnaire. I think separately, we want to work on these other pieces, which is the suggestion box. And I love that idea both for vendors and for, but these don't have to all be, you know, these can be, they don't even have to be sequential.
Cheryl, did the board members all get the example of the
Of the data.
analysis?
I don't think so. So we'll
Faith,
take-
could you send that out to everybody? Is that okay
Yeah,
with you?
Absolutely.
This is powerful, and I think it would help the board
Absolutely.
understand where we're going.
And that's why you see me
And
cringe when we
what-
say, what about paper?
Presentation
Because I'm
is
like,
everything,
well,
data.
Yeah.
Presentation is everything.
Yeah, and the data we collect comes down to this and helps make decisions. So just so you all understand, we can't communicate much with each other because it constitutes a meeting being held that the public isn't included in. So that's why I asked Faith to send that out to everybody.
And we
If that's okay with you, Cheryl, I don't.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
We could put
That's a
that in
legal
the link
limitation we
if that
have
helps
because of
avoid
the
the
Brown
paper. Would that be better? And then you get the colors. and-
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we can put that in the link, and then we can take one more pass through the questions and get rid of the things that we spoke
Yeah.
about tonight.
I had a
And
very,
then make you the owner.
yeah, that would be perfect, because
Yeah.
then this way it can all centralize. I have one very tactical question about the survey design that you put together. Did you explicitly, or why did you explicitly choose for all of the questions to be a choice of 4? So it was, a scale, a 4-point scale, if you will, on the questionnaire. Agree a lot, I forget what the language was, as opposed to,
A 5-point.
a 5-point or a
Five.
10-point. Was that an explicit choice?
That wasn't actually their call. We had a lot of students work on different pieces, and they said that they would come here tonight to do the speaking, but other people were
Okay.
working on the pieces of the survey. And
Got it.
I think it was more of a reflection of that's how often how it's always done for us in education. It was almost like it's.
Well, it
all-
does force people to make,
Yeah, I
to
Yeah.
decide.
But,
Yeah.
but it might not fit what you like, and we can easily make it 5 choices, 3 choices.
Yeah, and
Like
I was
descriptors
looking
might-
for whether there was a point of view for, if it was something that was explicitly discussed or not. So, yeah, and I mean, I've done this a lot of times. I've seen a lot of different ways of doing it. Doing 4 makes people choose. Sometimes doing an odd number is nice. Sometimes having 10 gives you more range to be able to see kind of where people are leaning. So I don't necessarily have a point of view. I was just
So
curious.
so given that this is the end of the year, what is our prognosis for being able to move forward before the end of the year?
Well, that's why we brought the juniors, because we have them for another year.
Oh, great.
So we have school, and we were really deliberate about that. We excluded the seniors from participating, and we're focused mostly on the juniors. But we have school until the first week of June. And the students aren't necessarily gone all summer. So we are flexible.
So there's
available.
additional students besides the 3 of you.
Yeah. Oh,
How
yeah.
many?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, we have probably 50 students.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's not just business. We're now talking to welding, and we all have an idea that we would like to, do something to contribute to VillageFest.
Right.
So we collaborate now with different departments. So we have a lot of manpower.
That's
So
awesome.
you believe by June, in working with Cheryl, we could have at least one deliverable that we could begin to implement? and-
Yeah, when Cheryl said the timeline, I
Yeah.
thought, oh, that's fine, we can absolutely do
Great.
that. That's not a
Awesome.
problem. And
That's-
most of our work is behind us now. The only thing we really have left is the showcase.
Joy, did you want to comment?
Yes, I just wanted to say, if at all possible, if any of the questions also include an area for open text for
do.
the people, because a lot of times the choices aren't enough, or somebody has some really good juicy tidbit to share with you that wasn't really addressed. We do survey the merchants at least once a year on something. So I find I get a lot of information out of that where possible. Thank you.
When you see the questionnaire, Joy, you'll see that that's actually broken.
They did a great job,
Good
Roy,
point.
at taking the little bit of input that I gave them and organizing the questions into groups that made logical sense. And then sort of at the end of each group, there was an open-ended ability to be able to kind of put anything in that somebody wanted to. And I would assume we can use some AI to sort through all the responses of that. And
So we can agree that with Cheryl's leadership and delegating to Dan and Celia, that we will work with the high school and have a deliverable by June 1st. And
Yes,
is we all in agreement with that?
I am, yes.
You all are good?
I don't see if we can't accomplish that.
This
No,
is terrific.
Can I ask one follow-up
Of course,
question?
of course.
Would, just sitting here as we're speaking, I'm thinking, would Destination PSP be allowed back as a vendor?
No. Oh, well,
Right.
Oh,
wait.
That's what I was
No,
thinking.
they
Is
are
this-
downtown
They are
vendor,
downtown
yes,
merchant. Of
yes,
course
they
would.
could be.
Oh, so any downtown merchant can
Yes.
come out, whether
There
it's
is a
handmade
special
or not handmade.
category for them.
Okay,
yes,
that's
they
what
can
I
have a
wondered.
booth and they pay a different amount
Got
because
it.
they are a vendor within. the
They have to
footprint.
be within the
That-
footprint of Village.
There's
Fest.
also
Yes,
nonprofits that occasionally come,
Right,
people that encourage
share the
voting.
Yeah.
Category of them.
churches.
you know,
I just had-
signups or
Yeah.
registration,
Uh-huh.
animal
but I didn't
shelters
share-
and those kind of things that.
Okay,
Greg sent me a different
yeah,
one.
that makes
I think
sense.
there's
So the
we have a couple
nonprofits are
churches
not
that list
only
animals or
religious,
something.
it's a lot.
Yeah,
It's a
okay.
wider.
Yeah, Yeah, I didn't go through, I mean, I went through the questionnaire generally, but I knew that we'd have opportunity to finish the questionnaire, so I didn't get into wordsmithing it and, you know, all those sorts of things, yeah.
Right, a rough draft.
And we've been talking about this just amongst us for a while, so we're kind of anxious to get it going.
Yeah.
We're thrilled that we actually have you guys to make this happen, and we're thrilled that you have come so far already, so we wanna keep up that momentum. And just like you guys only have another year, right there? Guess what? So do I. So do you, because we only get to serve up to 2 3-year terms. And Celia and I are in our second term and we're up next year. You know, so this changes over as well. So I think if we can fit it all into this year and part of next year, it'll work for everyone. So there's consistency, because you don't want new board members going, wait a minute, oh, hold on, change the whole game. And let's rethink this, because you get into that analysis paralysis. It's very easy to happen with things like this.
I'm only in my first year, so I don't know.
Yeah, so yes, she's been with you for a long time.
I want to thank you all.
Yes, thank you.
You have invigorated this board, with your new ideas and thoughts, and, it was a pleasure hearing from all of you.
I'm
And
impressed with all three of
we
you.
look forward to working with you, and if this board can do anything to help you, you only have to reach out and ask.
Lemonade.
Yeah, we'll.
And your presentation skills, all of
Yeah,
you, I
very,
have to say,
really
are very impressive.
Very good. And I know
I
it's
wish
a
I
school
was that
night,
good
you
at
probably need to go home and study and do all of that, but,
Or
thank
you might
you.
go home and listen to music and get lemonade, you never know, right?
Thank you.
This is great. We
Thank
really
you guys
appreciate
so
it.
much,
So
really.
Look forward to working
Excellent,
with you all.
excellent.
And everybody behind the scenes, everybody, all the other folks.
And be proud of your teachers.
Thank you
You've done
so
a
much.
fabulous job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
So
it's
much.
very fun for us.
Yeah.
What does CTE stand for again?
Career technical education.
Thank you.
Yeah. Did you want any extra little invitations? Because this is for the community. If you had somebody you wanted to invite,
Sure.
if you even just wanted to leave them, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very
Good
much.
night and thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Good night.
Thanks so much. Good night.
All right, let's, how do you follow and act like that?
Right.
That was tremendous. Tonight.
Career technical
Um,
education.
I don't think we have any unfinished business sustainability. Jasmine, are you still on the line? Is there anything that we need to?
No, I did speak with LP, and she is going to attend one of your meetings. It'll either be your next meeting or the one thereafter. So she is fully staffed now and has the ability to attend a meeting as requested.
Thank you. LP, sure, yeah. Anything on sidewalk vendors, Jasmine?
No updates.
Okay, any new business? I don't think that there is any reports or requests, public board comments? Joy, it's up to you. Main Street comments?
No, nothing really. I just want to thank you all for caring about the merchants' opinions on this and understanding the importance of that so that we could all work together and make Village Fest and the merchants great.
Right.
The third leg of the stool. I did have a comment. You jumped right over board comments. I just wanted to, can we just circle back and talk a little bit about Faith's questions earlier, because we kind of dismissed them, and I don't think it should be dismissive like that.
What questions?
About that vendor that we rejected.
Oh,
I'll speak for myself. I want to be careful to not prescribe the solution, and then the vendor does whatever they think, whatever depth that they implement that solution and come back, and then it may not be sufficient. It may not still be acceptable. So, and we've learned that with some vendors in the past here, where we said, you have to do this, take this off the label, but still the ingredient is in there, or they can't, you know, those kinds of things. So, that was the reason.
I don't think you had problems with her ingredients, right? It's just the labeling. That's why I was confused, because normally in the past, if it's been someone that have made claims that you didn't feel comfortable with, you just ask them to change the labeling. So that's why I wanted to have some direction to help the vendor when she calls me.
Couldn't we,
hold on, so, and thank you for keeping us honest, because that is important, but I thought that back then we talked about it and we decided back then as a group that it is not our job to solve the problem. It's a yay or nay, and we could say why we nay, and it's up to them if they want to go back and then come back. But in the past, we had a practice which I am against, which is that we would say, oh, we like your product, but this, so just go back and do that and come back next week and I think it's up to them to decide if they want to come back and apply again. We have to work out the application fee. We don't want to double zing them on the application fee.
No, I wouldn't charge them again.
Okay, so yeah, so as long as we have the leeway to do that, then I'm more comfortable to say, I'm sorry, but as presented, the product does not fit in with our guidelines. Here's some of our reservations about it, but you know, so take that and do with it what you will. And if they want to come back and apply, or they may say, well, then I don't want to do this, and then just walk away. Otherwise, then we make them make a commitment here that they're going to go back and resolve and come back. And I'm just not comfortable with that.
I understand that. I believe the one vendor that you're talking about, you didn't want the item that she had in there because it was cannabis in the item and she
That's
left it in
one
there, just
example,
changed the name.
yeah.
And then after that, we did have Seawell Naturals who had the sea moss that had all the different ingredients, and you guys had her come back several times
Yes.
to change.
The difference there,
wording.
And I'm trying to change that.
there's a different, and every product does not fit into the same box. And Jasmine, thankfully stated that we need to be as consistent as we possibly can and treat everybody the same. This product, any health and beauty product that is called in a magic elixir, is, no disrespect to this young lady, I was impressed with her, likens back to snake oil salespeople.
Yeah.
Right.
You
so
know,
that's-
and her product may be great for your hair, but the claims that were made in what she presented to us, we could not make an affirmative decision on. To
Correct.
Dan's point, our job is not to solve
Right,
their problem.
but she asked, can I take magic elixir off?
But
Because
that
you guys
doesn't
didn't have
solve
a
the
problem with
problem.
that.
That
So, and just like with Seawell, I sent you guys several copies of
Yeah, I
how
got
she
that.
changed it, and you guys said, oh, this.
I didn't get to
this and
finish, but
this. Okay.
the seaweed, there is data out there that it is recognized in the scientific community. It's used to make carrageenan, which is food thickeners, and there is data out there. Whether it has any health benefit or not, the FDA says no. We're you know, there is no data to support or deny it.
Mhm.
And if you recall, we made her change wording.
Correct, that's what I thought that.
From can to may was one specific.
Right. And
But
so
my
that's-
point is, sorry, go ahead.
Okay,
No.
no, that's why I thought like, I guess I don't.
But when it was
You
all
were just
said
trying to
and
get to, is it the ingredients or is it the weight, or is it the claim?
Correct,
That
because
you-
when she comes to me, I need to be able to tell
Yeah.
her, this is what they want from you. And if if it changes, I believe that what you need to do is change her labeling so that she doesn't make claims, because that's how in the past, we've had vendors do.
Not to-
But it seems that that's not what you want either, so I'm just not.
I feel like we went down a rabbit hole in the past with that and got too involved and specific about it. And the bottom line is we are here to either accept or reject the vendor's
what's
proposal.
presented to us.
Correct.
Exactly.
But we also don't want them to come back to you 10 times with something and it's still not correct, because they need some
we
guidance as
get
to what
them-
you guys are. okay
But I
with.
think we were, hold on, I think we were pretty honest, sorry, the second time I did this, Mitchell, sorry about that. I think we were pretty honest about the fact that she's making beneficial claims, health beneficial claims,
Mhm.
that she can't make period with any of it
Correct.
because it is merely a grooming product.
Mhm.
And that alone, I think, is the guidance that she can go back and re-engineer it as a
Mitchell,
grooming.
please.
And
product.
not, and just
Go ahead, Mitchell.
change her labeling.
Can't
Let
we,
Mitchell speak.
can't we
That's
just
not
get some
explained,
advice from
correct?
legal about health and beauty products, and there's a policy that this is the law, this is the expectation that you,
I think that information is out there in the public domain.
well, I understand, but if we're gonna keep letting people apply that don't, and we don't have a policy in place that says
you can't make these kinds of claims for these types of products.
I would like to move on after this, and so let me finish and say, we can put it on an agenda item if the board wants to talk about it more at another meeting, but it's
Okay.
time to move on.
Okay.
Oh, why do you look at me?
I want to say, despite the claims she made, if she removed all that from her label, I don't know what it was she had to sell.
I don't either.
Something you put on your hair.
I would have rejected the.
I don't think that
I would have
is in,
rejected it.
Well, she had
is
one-
valuable
and
in
she had
Village
one
Fest.
Product. I
Yes.
don't think she's gonna have a very successful stay with one product. I mean, most of the oils and soaps and.
How does that
whatever
serve
are-
our
I thought there were 9 different fragrances or flavors
No,
or.
it was all the
ingredients.
ingredients are
That's
right.
weird
Yeah.
for me.
We'll move on.
Yeah.
If we need to come back to this, we can come back to it at a
But,
later.
yeah, but in all fairness to Faith, are you satisfied now that if she comes back to you, you can say to her, the guidance that gave you
I'll
was this.
speak with Jasmine.
Okay.
We'll try and figure it out, because
All right.
no, I don't, I'm not understanding, so.
That's fair, that's fair.
All right, okay. Any other subcommittee reports? David Mitchell, anything that you?
No, our schedules haven't, we haven't been able to get together to go on to next steps. I did do some research, however, on some organizations that do booth community, like they help set up and market people in their booths and how to market their booths. So I'm trying to get some information so we can
Right.
delve further into that and see what's involved in that advice from our vendors.
Thank you. Antonio is not here. Joy, is there anything from a marketing or social media that you'd like to?
No, everything's going swimmingly well.
Oh, great. That's very good.
Joy, can I follow up on or a text message I sent you last Thursday? Did you happen to
You
get
know
it?
what? I was just remembering about that today, so
Thank you,
we talk
sweetheart.
later.
I'd love to, because I think we're getting very desperately close. And I'm starting to meet with downtown vendors that are saying, hey, if I do it, how come my neighbor doesn't do it? And how come the place across the street doesn't do it?
Well,
And
we
they have very
all have
legitimate
to.
points.
We
Yeah,
all
so
have
that's
to
it.
do it.
And
I'm
they need to
sure
be
the
done
city does
probably as
too.
a localized team.
That's a downtown merchant.
Mhm.
Sorry.
I
Yes.
thank you. All right, anything else?
I'm
How about a
sorry,
motion?
I did have one other thing, but I'm pretty sure I'm out of order of where it's supposed to be. But I know that we had some discussion about the shapes of the soaps and the girl that had the breast cancer stuff.
The mug, yes.
Yeah, but it was somebody complained to me about the colorectal cancer booth because he wears a fake behind made out of latex and dances around with it. Naked, looking like a naked behind. So I'm just reporting it.
He's on the.
So
I've
the
seen him on
person that's
television.
promoting the product is the one doing that?
No, we've made some, you folks have drawn some lines in regards to
Well, who's doing
nudity
it?
things
Right,
at
but
the
who's doing it?
colorectal booth.
Who's doing it? Babe?
guy
at the booth.
The
Who's that
gentleman that
booth?
was there,
Somebody?
yeah,
So that's not appropriate.
Yeah.
yeah.
Does the board agree that
I would want to see
I
it
would wanna
before
s-
we decide.
I'll send you a picture that was sent to me.
Well, I will be there Thursday. If I see him, I will ask him not to do that.
And he's not selling a product.
He's
What he's
nonprofit.
actually doing is
Nonprofit.
he's nonprofit and he's promoting people to get colonoscopy.
Younger, yeah.
Right,
I just
but
think we should see it before we just agree, because
yes.
it may be somebody overly sensitive to something that was.
But if it's somebody wearing a latex rear end,
Yeah, man.
prancing around on the
We
street,
have to
that's
see
not
it.
right.
At the
The-
booth.
I don't disagree with you, but I'm just saying, I think we should see
Sure.
what this is before we.
Yeah.
We can take a
agreed.
look,
Yeah,
but
send
his-
it to us.
Well,
His
Joy-
goal of his business
Joy
was
has-
medical
You
and
can have a
prevention,
picture.
not.
I thought it was
I
inappropriate.
wish I had a video.
Yeah.
And
I believe there was some kind of coverage on his organization and their purpose on television. I want to say on one of the local news channels or one of the,
Yes.
it was connection with
Yeah,
maybe
I saw
White
that.
Party.
Yeah. I saw that.
So
That makes
again, White Party's
It's
a different
it's a
event than
good
Village Fest.
cause. It's a good
Yes.
cause for
Yeah.
sure. I totally support it, but I was really surprised to receive this and see that. I'm not a prude or anything.
Is it,
But-
Joy,
Is
It
the
was
company
weird.
the same one that does it on TV, promotes it on TV, the same company?
It's not Color Guard or anything, like that. No, no,
It's a
no, no,
nonprofit,
he's not a company.
Yeah,
He's a nonprofit
right.
Okay.
And that was not approved.
awareness.
Presented to you. that
And
could
when he
wear that.
came here, he
That's a
also
good point.
proposed putting
That
out
is a good
these,
point.
That's a good point.
photo prints that were,
Correct.
they were artistic, but they were real people's butts, right?
Yeah.
And we rejected that, so he should know better,
Well,
honestly,
Faith-
if it's
to Faith's
appropriate.
point, we didn't approve that when
Right.
he came in.
And his
So
point, we
that's-
did disapprove
Right.
rear end.
Pictures, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
he might not have
But
come
did he take
before
a-
you.
Good point. It wasn't, he didn't bring it in?
He didn't.
We didn't see it, just
Correct.
like,
He
We
might
wouldn't
not
have
have
approved
brought
this
in
idea.
latex buttocks for you to see. Yeah.
right, so he should just be told
Yeah,
that,
just
you know,
be
if he
told.
wants to do that, he has to come in
Yeah,
and
I'll
present it
speak
to
with
us.
him.
Yeah, you don't
Rather
have
than
to-
us say it's a problem, he has to come in and present it to us, he cannot do that at the booth because he didn't present it to us that way. So how about that?
How about a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
Could I do staff report?
Yeah.
Oh, you have.
Sorry.
I do. So May 2nd, we're going to have our Star Wars Day at VillageFest. So we'll have, hopefully some stormtroopers will come out and we'll have, some crafts with the kids. We usually make lightsabers. The recreation department comes out and does a really great
And
job
was it
with
last month, the fourth be with you?
May 4th.
May 4th.
You're thinking of
So-
420.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Another celebration.
I know you too well. And then, one of our vendors, you probably know, I hope I say it correctly, Pastilios. They do the empanadas.
Yep.
They opened a store on, Sunrise over,
Oh, yeah, where the old
parking lot
Snow
where
and
the
Crab was.
Yeah, where the
Oh,
the
really?
99 cent stores, yeah, so they just opened, I wanna say like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So they are at the end there,
Oh my
so
God,
it's
there's
really
no other
exciting.
store.
Yeah.
Yay.
What's it
Next to
called?
99-cent store, right? Like a.
Well, yeah, it's at the end,
The
right by
last
the liquor
store.
store.
It's like
So
a
it's that
snow
one,
crab.
yeah.
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 99-cent store?
Yeah,
Yeah,
in that
it's right
center.
It's an empanada store that.
Yeah.
If you're looking at 99-cent store, it's the very left.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah,
That's what I
past
meant,
the
yeah.
gym
They're
and
closing
over
that
there,
store.
so.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
closing
so-
them all.
Yeah, so they, I think that's really exciting that. since
That's
the
great.
Village
That's
Center doing
That's
that.
really.
That's another.
Another success story.
incubator.
Yeah, so, if
Cool.
you have a chance, stop in and say hi.
Yes, yes.
That it?
I love it.
That's it.
What's their names again?
Pastillos. I call it Pastillos, but it's like Pastelitos or, I know I'm probably
Pastillos.
butchering it. Yeah, they still come to Village Fest as
P-
well as
Pastillos.
Pacusas, and they both have storefronts.
Yeah,
Great,
that's great.
wonderful.
And
Now,
that's it.
I move we adjourn.
I second.
Good. All in
everybody in
favor?
favor? Any opposed? Thank you, everybody.
Yeah,
Cheryl, thank you.
Justin, enjoy,
Hey,
miss your
guys.
face, but.
I want to reiterate, she's done
Thank
a lot
you.
of work.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Dan and I just kind of